90% of the time when I'm not streaming, because so if you guys don't know, I'm using Wallpaper Engine. So Wallpaper Engine is what I use to like change it to like the sci-fi one that I use for Portal, right? Or not Portal, sorry, for Mass Effect. So this is what I use for Mass Effect. But 90% of the time, if I'm not playing a game and having something in the background, I have it set on this because I really like this room for some reason. And the background actually changes depending on the time of day. So like in the daytime, it's a day and the window is open. And at night, it's this if you have it on the nighttime lit room, but I can actually turn it so it's a nighttime room with no light, so it just looks like a bedroom all blue and stuff like that. So I really like this. I really like this background. It's a cool effect, isn't it? It's Bunny Rem's room. That's in my head. I'm like, this is Bunny Rem's room. This is where Bunny Rem would live. Maybe minus the guitar because I don't know how to play guitar, but yeah. So I'm hoping that when I do my dating sim, when I finally get around to like writing it, I'm thinking more and more about it, and I'm kind of tempted to put the tabletop RPG on the back burner and start working on the script for the dating sim, just because I've been like really feeling it lately. But when I finally get around to it and I'm doing like the art and stuff, this is like very stereotypical like visual novel kind of background art, and I probably would want something like this just because I don't know, I like the look of it. Yeah, so let's get into the Royal Alchemist, which is gonna pop up on screen there. Yay, there we go. Put on to game. I don't know why it automatically goes to the Zelda image, because I had that as a background for hold on, I had that as a background for when we were playing Zelda, so I'm not using that anymore, so it should just go. I don't know, it does a weird thing where like it won't pop in the full screen display cap until after it's like done something. Anyways, so yeah, so we are officially at the point where you guys have caught up to where I played, the point that I played to on my own, and then I was like, you know what, I'm enjoying this game a lot, I would really like to play it with y'all, because I wanted you to see my reactions as I was doing stuff. So now we're officially back caught up to that point. So everything that happens from here, aside from like maybe the first couple like minutes, aside from that, everything that happens from here on out, I don't know. So I'm gonna mess up. There's gonna be deaths, but we're gonna be figuring it out together. So yeah. So, I think, what is it? On page 3, yeah. Okay, 531, 836. Which I think it was probably these, because I have 2 of them. Yeah, if I have 2 of them, that means that I double saved because I was worried. So we'll open up here. Yeah, I hope you're doing well too, Effie. So we're on week 12. So to recap what happened in the last part, we, as the Royal Alchemist, arrived to the castle of Falstrax? Hold on. Where the hell am I? I don't know. We arrived to the castle. We met the princes. We met Serin, Nazir, and Aurelius, aka Tsundere, who rejected us on our first try, and we kind of gave up on him. So we're doing Serin's route for now. We will eventually probably try to get both Nazir and Aurelius. I feel like Nazir is gonna be not easy, but like he seems pretty laid back. Aurelius seems to be the hardest one, just to convince him to like me. He's very, very picky. But we're going with Serin, the bookworm / like super prim and proper, but I get the feeling that that's just maybe not necessarily a mask, but something that he does because he has to be that because he's the oldest, and maybe there's a little bit more to him under that. Yeah, so we met them, and then what else did we do? Someone tried to assassinate us on our way there, and then again, a second time, they tried to assassinate us which resulted in these deaths for me on my own, because I did that before I did that on stream. So by the time I was doing it on stream, I kind of knew what I was doing. But I got killed on the first assassination attempt 3 times. I currently have it off. The deaths will actually give you a stat bonus on every retry, so I have it off right now, but I might turn on later if it turns out that I'm just really dying a lot. And so currently we're building our stats and trying to get the princes to like us, so that we can survive. And then we have a bunch of other characters that we've met. We haven't met everybody yet, obviously, but we've met Serin and Azir and Aurelius, obviously, the Regent, Sala, who is a homunculi, who is not human, and theoretically possibly eternal. Like, we don't know. And then it was revealed to us that our family, the Rosencreutz, I don't know how you say it, are actually a long time ago. They were homunculi who took power after defeating like humanity's enemies, and then decided, oh, you know what? We defeated everything. No one can stand against us, so we're just going to be rulers. And so the Rosencreutz were originally that, but then some of the Rosencreutz wanted some peace, so they made a pact with the Alchemists that they would put a collar on, essentially, their power that would keep them from being able to abuse it in exchange for the Alchemists' protection. And it turned them human, and so we are actually distantly related to the homunculi, and that's why our hair is white, but our ears aren't pointed like theirs. So Raphael is one of our assistants, and so is Sala. Harris is the servant for Aurelius. Garion is the guy who teaches us swordsmanship, and Ishbel is a political envoy from Marion, which is a country that is not very big, but for some reason is also important because it happens to border with another country. Not a country, I should say, a vassal state, whatever you want to call it. So that's basically where we are right now. We've had an assassination attempt on our life. Now we're kind of figuring, yeah, okay, I remember. And so now we have one of the attempted assassins, the mage, in captivity, and we have to, so this is me knowing a little bit about what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to create a truth serum. So we're going to have to train up one of the princes to be able to do that, because we don't have a lot of time to do it. And that's about as far as I got ahead on my own. I mean, the death stat boost might be the only way to press Aurelius. It's true, they might be. We'll see. He's going to be the last one we try to romance, so. May I ask if you noticed Art redreaming the sketch thing, I think, on Saturday? I did not. Let me look through the stuff. Let me look at my activity feed real quick. Whoop. I don't know what I just did there. You're right. Art redeemed a sketch thing 2 days ago. I wasn't... Oh, it was on Saturday while I was doing the We Were Here stuff. No, I didn't notice that at all. So, thank you for pointing that out, Effie. I will have to ask Art what they want when they come back in next time. I still have to do Ashies, so we're probably going to do that sometime this week. Ashies and Arts on the same day. And probably Nolly's, because I owe Nolly some stuff. A few people said that they're saving up for a sketch, so I'll make a list of who redeemed it if you don't mind. Effie, if you want to do that, that would be really, really great, and I would be very appreciative. But please don't feel please don't feel pressured if you don't feel like it. Okay, yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we literally just woke up, so that's where we are. We literally just woke up after the attack. Our body crumpled because we used too much of our magical powers, and the curse / collar, whatever you want to call it, that is on our family came to pass. Like, it kept us from being able to keep doing stuff. So now we're finally recovered, and we're heading down into the dungeon. We're heading down into the dungeon to talk to this prisoner. I won't feel pressured, don't worry. Plus, I need some distractions right now. Okay, Effie. Thank you so much. But yeah, so Oh, and another thing for anybody who wasn't here, the reason why it's so important for us to use like a truth serum or to capture this person alive is because every other assassin has some kind of weird mind control on them, so that if they fail, they just kill themselves or kill other assassins to stop from figuring out who the hell is doing this. So there's a plot against our life, there's a plot against the princes, there's a plot that killed the king. That's why, all this stuff is happening. So shit's going sideways, and we just have to try and survive and maybe smooch a prince on the way. In a much happier state of mind, I follow Sala out of my room and down the staircase in the direction of the palace dungeons. Also, I'm not going to be doing voices because, aside from maybe like Sala and some of the girls, just because like the last time I told you guys, like it's so hard on my voice to do different voices for everybody. I'll try to be like more emphatic if I can, though. Clap him in irons. It's good that he can't bite off his own tongue. On the other hand, I do say, Aurelius, don't give him ideas. I can hear the sound of the princes arguing even before I step into the dungeon. By the time I've made my way down to the last flight of stairs, I can distinguish the words being spoken. Enough! Or shouted. It's rare to hear Serin raise his voice, although it's certainly not the first time I've encountered his firm attitude. His firm attitude. I'm a child. Sorry. Bloop. Bloop. Aurelius makes an excellent point. As we waste time, the assassin may come up with more tricks. I don't mean to be anxious, but we should check on dear Alexis. Better than regretting it later. I'll send one of my men at once. No need. The prison is silent the moment I speak up. I nod at the pair of saluting guards as I stroll into the main cell of the dungeon, where, according to Sala, the captured assassin is held. Manacles on wrists and ankles. Good. Haggard and dazed. That means the paralyzer has not yet entirely worn off. Even better. Mouth, however, not gagged. Hardly ideal. It requires immediate rectification. I hold up the strip of cloth that I had requisitioned from the linen-laden maid. The linen-laden maid from palace housekeeping. I've been devoting a considerable amount of time the past few weeks planning to what I would do with the assassin if I were to capture one. Master Rosenkreutz, you're... Quite well, thanks. And how are you? So you're taking care of yourself. I'm going to go a whole different way and ask if you know about Portal Reloaded. I know you love the series, so I thought I'd mention it. No! Tried it and my mind melted. I've never heard of it. What is Portal Reloaded? Trying hard not to smirk in the stunned silence, I walk over to the prisoner, force open his mouth, and shove in the makeshift gag. Then I tie another length of cloth around his mouth, keeping it firmly in place. A temporary solution. We'll have to watch that he doesn't try to suffocate himself by swallowing the gag. Alexis. Serin says my name softly. His face in the dim glow of the dungeon torches looks anxious and unhappy. All of us are in your debt for what you did last night. I avoided getting assassinated. You exposed the assassin's infiltration into the palace and repeatedly put yourself in danger to protect my brothers and I, and everyone in the castle. Part and parcel of being the royal tutor, all in the job description. Don't worry, Your Highness. But I do worry. When you fainted after the battle last night, His lips twitch and a shadow passes over his face. I mean, we care for you, and we were afraid for you. Oh no, don't be honest with me here, Serin. I can't do it. It's too early in the stream. Aw, he's soft on us. I know, right? He's already soft on us. Oh, hey, Estantia, by the way. Oh, well, it's not just you, but other people who are here for the my vow to my liege kind of stream that we did. I'm not going to do the rest on on stream because I've already finished it, and also because I said that I wasn't going to because it does seem to touch on some really heavy topics, and it does, so I won't. But remind me before we take our break and switch to Genshin Impact to show you, I haven't got all of them, but I've got all the good endings for all the characters. And so I will show you the CGs if you want. And I will say right now, Yingguang is the best fucking boy. I saved it till last, and I'm so happy that I did, because Yingguang's just... I love him so much. He's so sweet. Anyways, sorry. Yingguang, A+. Gojian can fuck off. I did his route first, and then after that I was like, fuck you, Gojian. I don't like you. But Yingguang is quality boy. Anyways, so yeah, we'll show you the CGs for that before. Just remind me before the break, and I will show you all the happy ending CGs. I haven't got bad endings. I will do that at some point, but I wasn't mentally prepared. Something could have happened to you, and I wasn't able to protect you. Serin's troubled face makes me want to smile and pat his head, although I know it's hardly the time and place for me to succumb to that impulse. You seem to forget, Your Highness, that it is my job to protect you, not the other way around. Besides, as you can see, I'm perfectly well. Yes, do cheer up, Serin. There's a good chap. All's well that ends well, right? All hasn't ended well yet. Matter of time, surely. Surely. But before that can happen, Serin draws himself up, his aura of vulnerability dissipating so quickly it might almost never have been. But before that can happen, this assassin has to be dealt with. At that moment, the half-comatose assassin groans audibly. He slides his back up the wall, his head swerving left and right, almost as though he's trying to refuse something or someone. Oh, not again. What's happening? We don't know. It seems that once or twice every hour he would be seized by a fit of agitation, which passes as quickly as it comes. Maybe we ought to remove the gag. Perhaps he's trying to tell us something. I won't advise it. Nothing worth hearing. The princes are right. During these fits, the prisoner talks pure gibberish. Is it gibberish or gibberish? I don't think I've ever actually said that word out loud. Nazir seems kind of insensitive at times. You know what Nazir really reminds me of? 100%. Like, I'm surprised because I thought Nazir was going to be a lot more like Prince Hal from the King Henry's, the Henriad, the Henry trilogy for Shakespeare. But he honestly reminds me, if you've ever seen this, God damn it, what is it called? It's Oscar Wilde's Ernest play. What is the name of it? I can't remember. Anyways, Oscar Wilde's Ernest play. God damn it, what is it called? My brain is blanking. The Importance of Being Earnest. That's it. He reminds me of the kind of side character, not the main one, but he reminds me of the side character who's constantly trying to get the main character, Ernest, to skip out on all his kind of like social duties and come with him to the countryside. The phrase that he uses is bunburying. Bunburying? Bunburying, bunburying, because he named his imaginary sickly friend in the countryside Bunbury, and so he's always kind of rushing off to do things to get out of his social obligations by saying, "Oh, I have to go help my friend Bunbury," and so he's kind of like that. There's something about his attitude that reminds me of that guy, where he like doesn't want to deal with any of his social obligations. He's always kind of lighthearted, but like underneath it, there's a little bit of seriousness. And then obviously, like, if we, as we've seen as we played through this game, he's also very concerned about like the well-being of the people and the well-being of his friends and his, basically anybody associated with him. But he doesn't care for like the actual politics. He just cares for doing things that are good and fun, right? So it's interesting. But yeah, he can definitely be a little insensitive, and I think that's part of the kind of the character, right? Also, I gotta put this back up. There we go. I've heard it pronounced both gibberish and gibberish. Okay. Portal Reloaded is free community-made modification for Portal 2. The mod builds on the concept of the main game by allowing you to place a third portal, which enables traveling between 2 different timelines. Huh. That sounds interesting. I would be down for that. We still need to play Portal Mel Story at some point because it's really good and I've never finished it. Maybe we'll do Portal Mel Story and then we'll do Portal Reloaded because I would be 100% down for that. Cares but lazy, yes. Or like, I feel like the laziness is a cover though. It's cares but doesn't want to be responsible, right? Like responsibility probably scares him. Which, mood? At considerable volume and length. Oh, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, the prisoner. Our attempts to interrogate him have been uniformly fruitless. They only seem to aggravate the severity of these attacks, which are getting more severe in any case. At this rate, I doubt the prisoner has long before he ruptures a blood vessel inside his head. Have you tried questioning him between these seizures? We did, but he never made any reply. Is that the after effect of the paralyzer? No. He understands the questions we put to him. You can tell from his eyes, but he refuses to cooperate. I was advocating the use of more enhanced interrogation techniques, but the prince is... Garion, we need him alive at almost any cost. That means no sharp or potentially lethal instruments in his proximity with which he could commit suicide. Or be forced into committing suicide. I still say we rough him up a little. Nazir, please. We can't afford to take the risk. Not even a little? No. Have it your way. If I may get a word in. The bickering, to my surprise, stops immediately. Everyone turns to look at me. The usual remedy to disobedient prisoners is, I believe, the truth serum. I like how he says that like it's a thing that just everybody... Oh yeah, truth serum. Talking about Portal, how are you all doing? I'm doing okay today. How are you doing, Effie? And how is everybody in chat? Hope you're all good. Will it work? We had considered the truth serum, but we thought the mastermind's domination of the prisoner will block the effects of the serum. You're right. The standard truth serum does no good in mind control cases. But there is a special variant of the serum tailored to override the effects of mental domination of the subject. Wonderfully convenient. Be a dear and make one at once. I'd like to. Unfortunately, the process of its manufacture is somewhat involved. First, I must learn as much as possible about mind-controlling spells. Only then will I be able to come up with an appropriate formula to counter it. Jeez, I wish I remembered what I need for the truth serum, because then I could start training them immediately, because one of them is going to be the one who has to make it. How long will it take? 2 weeks, minimum. We stare at the prisoner. His fit had passed while we were talking, and he is panting heavily. Beads of sweat mingled with blood roll down his temples. His face is bloated and very red. I had no idea it could be so difficult to stop a man from ending his own life if he's so determined. Even if we somehow manage to keep an eye on him every single instant, we'll have to force feed him to stop him from starving. He won't last 2 weeks anyways. Doesn't look like he'll last 2 hours. There is a way to secure his physical cooperation. I briefly hesitate, wondering how to make the point without stirring any suspicion about the Rosencreut's widely known but little understood gift. You're existing? I'm glad to hear it, Stantia. I know things can be rough, so hopefully things are alright. I heard about what happened, Estantia. I hope you'll feel better. I believe in you. You're strong. Yeah, we're here for you, Stantia. If you need us, just let me know. Are you perhaps referring to the Judgment Ring? You've heard of it. I've read of its use in some historical works. But I had the impression a Judgment Ring is enormously difficult to create, and the recipe is a closely guarded council secret. That's right. Judgment Ring is an artifact that requires not only a sophisticated mastery of alchemy, but also a great deal of primal magic to craft. The difficulty and expense associated with making it ensures its extreme rarity. So here's the thing. This isn't a bad thing necessarily, but I find it interesting in fantasy because it can be, depending on how it's implemented for me, kind of like fourth wall breaking or fantasy breaking, or it just takes me out of the story, is when there's always some like instant magical item that you've never heard of before that can solve the problem, right? And I get it, that's like a huge part of the fantasy trope. But I can see why it wouldn't have come up earlier in the story, but I like it better in most stories. I feel like it's a little bit more interesting when you have the constraints that you're presented with and either have to use things that have already kind of been discussed, or just there's no like magic fix. But this is a dating stat sim where we have to like build things, right? So I get why they suddenly like appear. I don't know. I'm very, very picky about my fantasy, and that tends to be one of the things that gets to me. Seeker of Azure, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a good day. The Judgment Ring is used almost exclusively by elite members of the Council Garrison to apprehend the most notorious and dangerous criminals on the continent. The amount of magic needed to craft the ring exceeds by far the limit that I, or any member of the Rosencreutz clan, can safely use. Hello, Seeker. Yes, welcome in. Indeed, it exceeds the magical capabilities of most mages in Eskia. Thankfully, 3 of the most talented Eskian mages are here in the dungeon with me. So it is, but I am an alchemist of the High Council, and I know how it's made. So, can you make it? Well, I need to get the princes to make the Judgment Ring for me. But how can I do it without arousing their suspicions about the secret Achilles heel of the Rosencreutz? Okay, cross your fingers, because I think we're gonna need charisma or something for this. I think we should be okay. Because I've been raising my charisma pretty decently. It's either charisma or intelligence, and I don't think our intelligence is high enough, but I think our charisma is. So we're gonna do pretend to be exhausted. A good lie must come as close to the truth as possible. I do know how to make it. Hey, yeah, okay, we got it. Don't break your fingers, Heffy, please. I swallow and sway ever so slightly, as though the very thought of crafting a judgment ring is threatening to overcome me where I stand. If only I let my voice trail off wistfully and gaze into the distance.
The coziest of streams remiss Kai.
Hi. How you doing, Welsh Troll? Thank you for the sub. Welcome back. I can't believe 9 months. That's a sub baby right there. Don't tell me what to do, Rem. I break my fingers whenever I want. No! How are you doing, Welsh Troll? I like this like extremely intense music for like trying to convince the princes to do this. Also, I can just picture Alexis just like acting the shit out of this. like acting. I let my voice trail off wistfully and gaze into the distance. Forcing my lips to curl into a small smile, I say, in a brave but tremulous voice, I am an alchemist of the High Council and royal tutor of this kingdom. It is my duty to make the judgment ring, and Rosencrantz never shirks. Well, I'm gonna figure out how to say this name and like say it right first at some point. Rosencrantz never shirks from their duty. The expected clamor of protest bursts out from the audience. I won't allow it. Sorry. I just love that. Like, yeah, definitely acting. Hands stapled to the forehead and all, right? I'm a royal alchemist and I'll do my best. If only I wasn't so tired. I won't allow it. You aren't in any shape to create anything as demanding as a judgment ring. You look deucedly tired, and like you could use a rest. Duty is one thing, foolhardiness is another. You do no one any favors by straining yourself overmuch. Like Aurelius's way of saying, like, don't hurt yourself is like, you're useless if you do this. Like, okay, Aurelius, Jesus Christ. The princes are right. You should be sleeping, not undertaking works of high alchemy. But we still need a way to deal with the prisoner. Absolutely not. I must insist. My brothers and I will be able to create this artifact if you guide us. Serin's firm attitude and genuine concern makes me feel almost sorry for tricking them. However, I feel extremely reassured knowing everyone to be on my side. Aiming a thought of gratitude at them, I nod while giving a weak smile. Your Highnesses, Garion, you have my thanks. In the meantime, I assume we must also not... Wait, I can't fucking read. In the meantime, I assume we also mustn't neglect assembling the ingredients needed for making the special truth serum of yours. Right. The potency of the judgment ring degrades over time, and faster the stronger the target it is used on. There's some... I don't know. I should look into this. I don't know if this game was translated or not, but there's some sentence structures in it that are just very weird to me. And I don't know if it's because if it was translated and like the translations are just a little bit awkward, or even if it wasn't, if they're just trying to make it sound old-timey, like kind of high, royal, medieval or whatever in their sentence structures, and it just seems awkward. Possibly both. I don't know. For this assassin, reinforced as he is by a mysterious mind-controlling mastermind, I reckon 2 weeks and no more at the maximum. That means we'll have to press on full speed with the truth serum and have it in hand within the fortnight. I need to cram the books as much as possible to ensure that I make it on time. Give me the ingredients list and I'll have my quartermasters scour their stores at once. Yeah, upper class. Yeah, old-timey. That's what I meant. Like, just something that's supposed to sound fancier. Most of the translations make sense. Yeah, that's why I don't even know if it was translated. That's what I'm wondering. I think it might be, it just might be a fact of, like, trying to make it sound like, fancy, upper class. Much obliged, my Lord Marshal. Wow, my mouse stopped working there real quick. Now that we know all we need to know, now that we know what we need to do, let's get on doing them, shall we? Okay, so I need to look at, what do I need? This is where the truth serum is going to be, and I don't know what it is yet. Wood, water, and wind is what I'm going to need for noodle stew. I don't need dynamite anymore. Hold on. Let's see what missions we have. That one's going to need high charisma. So I told you, like, we're not quite at the point where I'm as blind in this game as you guys are yet, but we're really close. So I know about 2 weeks ahead, and then I'm going to be on the same page as you guys. Herb soup. Rural infrastructure and economy are close to collapsing. Recent harvest has been worryingly poor. I think we can do the herb soup one. Oh, we have an herb soup. Okay, never mind. We already did that. I made it. Should I make the iron bar? Can I? Aurelius can synthesize it. I think I need to save my money. Well, 520. Healing salve. Wood, water, and wind. Okay. Fire and darkness. So that would probably be Aurelius. Oh yeah, it is Aurelius. I've already done the one that needs this, so I don't need it anymore. I don't have enough coin to make all of these, but I want to make some of them ahead of time because I know they'll probably pop up. They're usually for missions, but sometimes they're also for like in-game, like, events. And when they're for the in-game events and you fail to check for it, it kind of sucks. A treasure from Fostrax is 30, Zelflos is 40, and Speller is... So, okay, we're going to do that mission. We're going to do the Spellor mission. I really hope I have enough. Though the village of Spellor is known for its idyllic pastoral countryside, it is one of the most important breadbaskets of the kingdom. Unfortunately, owing to rapsatious nobles and tax farmers, Spellor's rural infrastructure and economy are close to collapsing. Its recent harvests have been worryingly poor. With food reserves and morale in Spellor at an all-time low, Nazir believes more needs to be done if disasters are to be averted for certain. To be averted, my brain, please. To that end, he has approached me for help. I have gathered the ingredients for making an herbal stew that provides healing and sustenance to those who consume it. The entire palace is helping with preparations, but Nazir is working the hardest of all, keeping the alchemical fire needed to boil the stew going every day. Day and night. Poor Nazir. I don't think he has had a wink of sleep in the past 2 days, and he looks as if he is close to collapsing. God damn it, I need leadership. I thought it was charisma. Fuck, I forgot. No. Oh well. So we won't get that. Deciding a bit of cheering up is what Nazir needs, I walked over and chided him teasingly that he is surely not the famous endurance of his, that this is surely not the famous endurance of his that is the toast of the milkmaids and farmers in his beloved Speller. Nazir perked up immediately and winked at me. He assured me he can go on much, much longer and that he would love to demonstrate to me in this or any other activity of your choice. No! So the nobles don't like me anymore. Unfortunately, right at that moment, a nobleman and his coterie of servants walks past us, their eyes wide and gawking incredulously at what they've just heard. I'm afraid they must have formed a very poor impression of what I had been doing with the prince. We didn't get the little chibi for that either, because it gives you like little chibi stuff. Hey, but we got some income, so that's fine. I woke up this morning with exhaustion weighing on me, as though I failed to get a wink of sleep last night. Unfortunately, I know that the cause of my weariness is purely mental rather than physical, and not quite easy to be cured. It has been a week since I started on the preparations of the truth serum for the assassins we've captured, and a week of minimal success despite my best attempts. The task proves to be much more challenging than I expected, and it appears to require a deeper understanding of mind-controlling magic, which is precisely what I lack. I've scoured the library for books that may be of help, but I've come away empty-handed. At this stage, I'm at a loss to proceed further. I reach for the cup of tea resting on the end table, taking a sip. The familiar taste lingering on my tongue as the warm liquid slides down my throat soothes my frayed nerves slightly, but a sigh still leaves my mouth when the worrying thoughts continue to dominate my mind. Pardon me, Master Rosenkreutz. Has the tea gone cold? I blink, taking a moment to realize that Raphael must have caught me sighing into the cup and assumed I was displeased. No, not at all. The tea is wonderful as usual, and I certainly didn't mean to be unappreciative of your excellent brewing skills. He smiles, but the concern doesn't fade from his eyes. I'm glad you're pleased with the tea, although, frankly put, is there anything I can possibly help with? I doubt Raphael can lend a hand in this matter, but perhaps fueled by the relief to be able to share this burden with someone else, I find myself briefly explaining to him the problem I've been struggling with. About the mind-controlling magic used to restrain the captured assassin. It should be accurate to say that the mastermind is certainly wielding a power entirely different from the norm. He should be what we are calling a deviant. Sadly, deviant magic users are very rare, even more than the Rosencreutz. The High Council has them, but none of their abilities are similar to mind controlling. His brows draw together as he ponders over my words. I'm sorry. I wish I knew more about this kind of magic. Please, worry not. I appreciate your concern and willingness to listen. He nods, but the crease between his eyebrows remains. On second thought, while I may not be of assistance to you, I can think of two who might. Who might they be? Prince Serin and Harris, Master Rosencreutz. While neither of them know mind-controlling magic, they are users of light magic, which is also connected to the mind. Perhaps they will have some insight to offer you on the topic. That's a brilliant idea. I'm ashamed that I didn't think of this before. Thank you, Raphael. A delighted grin spreads across my face, and Raphael returns my smile. It was my pleasure. Eager to give this a try, I make sure I'm presentable as quickly as I can manage and head out of the room. I should learn to read better. Jesus, I keep skipping words that I don't mean to. Acutely aware of the limited time I have before the lesson with the princes, I can only seek out either Harris or Serin. I must make a choice between the two. Oh, we know who we're picking, right? Who should I try to speak to? You know who we're picking. Serin. Perhaps Serin will have good insight. He has displayed an impressive aptitude for light magic, after all. That's a brilliant pun. What pun? Did I miss a pun? I feel bad if I did. Remembering Serin's fondness for the library, I make my way there in a haste. Luck appears to be on my side today, and I spot his figure in the room, half hidden behind a massive bookshelf. He senses my approaching, and as I draw closer, he steps out from behind the shelf. His eyes meet mine, and the corner of his lips tug upward. Good morning, Your Highness. Good morning, Alexis. It's certainly a pleasant surprise to see you here at this time of day. Oh, brilliant as luminous. You're right. I didn't get that. That went over my head. Seeing Serin's unfailing politeness, I'm struck by the sudden, playful urge to tease him and replace that courteous, yet somewhat distant smile with another expression. Yes, well, I found myself in need of a copy of Keeper's Grimoire for our lesson later. Isn't that quite an advanced magic tome? It is, but I do believe you're all ready. Once you get past the convoluted phrases and the archaic words, you'll find that it's extremely enlightening. I very much hope that you will enjoy it. Despite his best attempt to keep his composure, I notice him blanching just a bit. Well, I am talking about one of the most advanced magic tombs up to date. He gives a subtle clear of his throat before responding in a level voice. I see. I wouldn't doubt that you know what is best for our studies. At the obvious hesitance in Serin's speech, I can no longer restrain the giggle. Restrain the giggle. That was a weird way of reading that. Hold on, I need to take a drink. Restrain the giggle that has been threatening to escape me. I was merely jesting. You're safe. For now. Serin tilts his head, cheeks slightly coloring as he chuckles. I should have guessed. How gullible of me. Oh, look, he's blushing! We made him blush, y'all. Alright, end of game. We're good. We've made it. This is it. No more. We'll stop while we're ahead. I grin at him, pleased I've achieved my goal. Perhaps I'm just very convincing. Yes, it's all that acting, Alexis. Truth is, I've been looking for you. I decided to take a stab in the dark and see if you would visit the library before the lesson. Looking for me? His eyes widen a little before darting away from me. It could just be my imagination, but I could have sworn I see an almost unnoticeable flush rise to his cheeks. I see. How may I be of service? If you may recall, I am trying to concoct a truth serum to be used on the imprisoned assassin. Serin's face grows solemn, and he gives a curt nod of his head as a glint of concern enters his eyes. Yes. Have you encountered any troubles? Unfortunately. I've been racking my brain for a solution, but to no avail. The truth serum must be able to break through the mind-controlling magic long enough for us to retrieve the answer from the assassin, but this is where I've been struggling. I'm afraid I simply don't know enough about mind-controlling magic to perform this task. A frown graces Serin's forehead, his lips pressing together in a thin line. I see. If I'm not mistaken, rather than simple mind-controlling spell, it should be the work of a deviant magic user, is it not? Correct. There is indeed a great lack of recorded information about the ins and outs of deviant magic. Sounds like a considerable challenge. Indeed. Thus, I'm hoping you could impart some wisdom on the subject. I would be most willing to share any knowledge of deviant magic I have with you, but I must admit it isn't much. Not necessarily deviant magic, Your Highness. I'm thinking of your light magic. It's Raphael who reminded me of the slight similarity between light and this kind of deviant magic. Of course, the elements are vastly different, yet they're both somewhat connected to the mind. Perhaps you might have insight onto how the deviant magic controls the assassin's will? Yes, let's just ask the prince, who was there. Probably has absolutely no idea. I stare at Serin in hope. He falls into deep thought, occasionally murmuring a few words under his breath that I can't make out. His brows knit tighter and tighter until eventually he meets my eyes again with regret. I sincerely apologize, Alexis. I don't have the faintest clue. You know what I don't understand? This is just random. I mean, maybe there's a point in the game where it makes more sense. But they could have easily just changed, like, let us choose our own name, because there's no voice lines. So unless it's included in, like, an image, it seems like there's no reason why they couldn't. I don't know, I was just thinking about that. Because I like the name Alexis, but I feel like I want to change it. I'm more adept in powers of communication with my light magic, but not so much in affecting the minds of others. The strongest feat I'm capable of is it's less work, I will say that. Like, definitely having done some coding for testing how to code pronouns and name inserts for the dating sim. It's a lot less work, but it's not, like, that less. I don't know. Strongest feat I'm capable of is creating illusions, as you've seen that night. But I suppose it's not the same as mind-controlling deviant magic. He hesitates as if reconsidering his words, then continues after the small pause. At times, if my aptitudes are particularly strong, I can, to a certain extent, sense people's feelings. But even then, it's still quite far from controlling their thoughts and emotions. My face falls in disappointment, and I can't hold back a sigh. Upon noticing my reaction, Serin apologizes again. He seems a bit bothered by the fact that he couldn't give me the answer I seek. A twinge of guilt rises in me, and I offer him a reassuring smile. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Please, don't worry. It was a move out of desperation anyways. I'm well aware that deviant magic is an unusual class of its own, and quite difficult to be understood. Thank you for humoring my questions, Your Highness. Please, don't mention it. If only I were more useful and could provide the information you desired. I'll continue trying and searching for other solutions. I'm sure I'll overcome this obstacle somehow. You might be able to sense our emotions later. I know, right? I was just thinking that. I'm like, you're gonna sense that we got a crush on you. That's what's gonna happen. Well, I won't keep you from the company of books further. I'll see you at our lesson soon. Serin gives a small bow, and the gentle smile returning to his lips. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have like a moment where he's like, I know how you felt, and you're like, ah! Don't say that. I look forward to another fascinating class with you today. I take my leave, my mood much lower than when I arrived, but I quickly suppress the discouraging thoughts plaguing me. No, I won't give up. I will figure out this truth serum, and I won't rest until I do. Okay, I don't know what we need for the truth serum. I wish I did, because then I could train them in it. Ah! Probably gonna be... I don't know. Our intelligence is really low. I feel like that's what we need to do. It's not really low. It's like... Our beauty is also low, and I know for a fact because we're almost at that point where I have completely stopped playing my personal, and now I'm on to like where it is in the game for us. I know for a fact there's a beauty check. I don't know if I want to pour points into beauty though, so we're just gonna be ugly. All right. But I do think I want to pour some points into, well, intelligence is 43. Maybe etiquette? Our charisma is pretty high right now. Charisma and combat are doing the highest. I feel like I should put some into etiquette. I also worry that I'm low in intelligence. I've done nothing for leadership. I have 0 in leadership. Ah, fuck. It's fine. Let's do etiquette and... just get that up. Let's get the boys all a little bit into each other's magic. Light. I wonder what's gonna... light and fire, maybe? Just give them a little bit in each. Fire, water, and wind for Serin, because his stuff is light and wood. So we'll give him fire, water, and wind. And let's give Nazir darkness... water and wood, just so they all have a little bit into it. And then Aurelius we're gonna give wood, fire, and light. Okay, cross your fingers. We'll see. I blink through the cobwebs of sleep and stare at the glaring sunlight falling through the windows. Ah, I needed intelligence. No! Ah. Fuck. I'm pretty sure that check was to see if I could figure out the truth serum on time, and I'm pretty sure I just failed it. Oh well, let's go on. Even after days and nights of research... What is my intelligence? It's so fucking high. It's 43. I bet I needed like, I don't know, 50 or some shit like that. God, I put it into etiquette instead. I knew I should have put it into intelligence. I was sitting there thinking like, etiquette? Intelligence? No. And back we go. We haven't saved. We would have to go like all the way back. We're just gonna suffer. We're gonna suffer. Hold on. Is there an autosave? What time is it? It's the 27th at 1:48. I don't think it would have saved. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. It did save. Let's try that. Save's coming. Save's coming. Etiquette. Fuck etiquette. Intelligence. Okay. I probably won't do that often, but I'm kind of mad that my brain was like, no, we're gonna go with this. And then we have to go and do this again. So we're gonna give darkness, water, and wind, I think was the one I did for him. Water, light, and wood, and then light, wood, and fire. Okay, intelligence. If that's not enough, then I don't know what I would have had to like be pouring it into my intelligence like all the way back, and we're just not going to worry about it. I blinked through the cobwebs of sleep, blah, blah, blah. Hey, see, I swear to God, it was probably like 2 off. It was probably like, I had, what is it, 48? And we probably needed 50. So, okay, that's fine. After days and nights of research, I have completed the formulae to create the... Do you say... I always say that formula, even though there's an E on the end. Do we say it? Formulae? Formula? To create the truth serum. I should make it as soon as possible. Time is running out. Hey, so now we have that. It's right here. Fire 7, water 7, light 7. Oh shit, who needs that? It's gonna cost 200. Fire, water, light. Fire 7, water 7, light 7. That's pretty equal. 0 and fire. His light is obviously like, because I've been like fucking pouring points into that. Fire. Water is 5. His light is 4. I bet if I put points into water and then 2 into light, he would be able to do it. Let's look at Aurelius. His fire is 9. His water is 47. His light... Oh, I can just... Okay, we can have Aurelius do this. Okay, yeah, we just need to give Aurelius some light. It was fire... Okay, let me go to double check because, like, I'm bad with math and I gotta make sure my numbers are right. Yeah, fire 7, water 7, and light 7. So, yeah, I think we just gotta give Aurelius fire 9, water 47, and light 4. So we just have Aurelius do some light magic for his classes. He doesn't even need a ton, but just in case they give us like a low score on that, I'll have him do more. And then, did I not give Serin like any fire? Is that why he was like at 0, wasn't he? Yeah, he was at 0 for fire. 0 for fire and darkness and wind. Fire, darkness, and wind. And also water. He's pretty low on water. They learn their own stuff faster. Fire, wind, and darkness. Water, light, and wood. What's in here? Kind of weaken. Darkness, light, and water. Darkness, light, and water. Oh! Mendy! Mendy, thank you for the raid! Hello. Thank you for bringing your people over here. Please go check out Mendy. Awesome streamer. I feel really bad that I missed the Among Us on Sunday. I'm sorry, Mendy. But go check out Mendex with his really cool new fucking VTube setup, which you should go see because it is awesome. And he did all the rigging and art himself, which is fucking mwah, chef's kiss. Go and check out Mendy, please. How was your stream? How was Persona 3? We're trying not to be assassinated in this game. We're gonna save. Let's go put it on page 4. I'm gonna max out this 10-page thing pretty fast, probably. So much grind, but it's fun grind. Well, as long as it's fun. Okay, we need to have... Okay, Aurelius is the one who's going to make the truth serum. But we just need to train him first, so... I think we should have time. Okay. Master Rosenkreutz. Despite having spent nearly 3 months in the palace, I still have to fight down the urge to leap to my feet and salute at the sound of his voice. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna be kind of pissed if we need to go back and do... I think he's gonna ask us for the truth serum. Hold on. Said I look up from the mess of alchemical diagrams and equations flooding over my desk and inclined my head. Fuck it. I'm gonna load my auto because I'm fairly certain he's about to ask us for the truth serum, and we don't have it because we haven't made it because we had to train them because I didn't know what I needed. Okay, hold on. No, autosave. Oh, the 146 one? Yeah. We're... Okay. Intelligence? I'm save scumming. I'm save scumming because I kind of know what's coming up a little bit, and then we're going to get to the point where I'm completely blind. But I just want to get this right. Don't judge me. I'm min-maxing. Okay, so Aurelius needs light. Is that it? Brain. Fires. He needs fire. He has water, and then he needs light magic. So 1 fire I think will be enough, and then 2 light magic. He has 1 fire, and then 2 light. You're gonna go into lurk mode? Alright, Watson, thank you for lurking. And thank you for spending your time here. Not thank you for lurking. I mean, lurking is welcome, but thank you for being here. Enjoy your lurk, is what I meant to say. You're judging. I see how it is, Mendy. Don't judge me. I'm shoring up people's weaknesses, or trying to at least. He needs fire, water, and wind and darkness. Oh, he doesn't have any of those at this point. Light, darkness, and water. Light, darkness, and water. And then fire and light. So that should be enough. Okay, let's try again. Showing up weaknesses. A service I could use in real life, right? Same. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go through this real quick. Got the intelligence check. Should know how to make the truth serum. Aurelius can make it. So we're going to synthesize that now because I'm fairly certain. There we go. We have the truth serum. Good. Anything else I should make while I can? Wood, water, and wind. I don't know anyone that can make that yet because they can't. Aurelius can make this. I don't know what I'm going to need that for. This is something in the future at some point. I don't need that. We already did that one. I don't know if we're going to need that at any point, but it seems to need a lot. High wood, meaning it's probably going to have to be made by Serin, but I need to get wind and water up for him, and I don't know when we're going to need that. The truth serum is more important. Maybe we'll throw some money into making this just because we can. And we will have... I also kind of want to make this, but I don't have anything for it yet. Water and wind. It's probably going to have to be Serin that makes that one. Don't know what it will be useful for. Water, 2. And wind, 3. Okay, so let's give him a little bit of that. Let's give him some darkness, too. How does he not have... Wait, hold up real quick. How does he not have... Oh, he just has low water and wind. Okay, I thought he had none for a second. Low water, low wind. Let's give him some darkness. Every time I say darkness, I just hear Hades from the game going, darkness. Nazir, what about you? What do we give you? Darkness, light... Maybe wood. That would be helpful. Darkness, light, and wood. Oh, there was a darkness on there already. Alright, whatever. Wood, and then Aurelius, we're going to give you today to shore up. Oh, geez. Wood and wind. Wood, wind, and light. Why is his water so low? Have I just not been training him on water? It's not so low, but it's certainly lower than his darkness. Wind, wood, and I think light. Okay. Alright, we're not gonna save Scum after this. Hopefully. Master Rosencreutz. Despite having spent nearly 3 months in the palace, I still have to fight down an urge to leap to my feet and salute at the sound of his voice. Instead, I look up from the mess of alchemical diagrams and equations floating over my desk, or flooding over my desk, and incline my head politely. Lord Marshal, good afternoon. Is it? His eyes flick briefly and indifferently at the mellowing sunshine outside the window before darting back to my face. I've come to ask whether you're ready to question the assassin yet. Prisoner, Garin. Corpse at the rate his condition is decaying. How many times? Garion does not need to ask what I meant. 3. We won't be able to stop a 4th. What happened? The 3rd time, he chipped off his canine tooth while eating his meal and tried to slam it into his eye. Jesus Christ. What? Alright. That's, ugh. I wince. Too damn creative. Our men barely managed to restrain him in time. Won't be so lucky next time. The men, they're getting tired, too. Sick, nerves all shot to bits. Can't blame them, really, I suppose. I look more closely at Garion, startled by his sudden verboseness. His face is pale and his lips press thinly together. His hand clutches tightly at his folded arms, knuckles white. Your nerves aren't in trim condition either, Lord Marshal. But I can't blame you, really. So, Master Rosencreutz, you need a couple of weeks to brew your special truth serum. We've bought you those couple of weeks. Where is it? See? I knew it. Here, Lord Marshal. I raised a flask of precious liquid from the epicenter of the diagrams, notes, and equations that represent the weeks of intensive research I've had to pour into the problem. The moments of free time I snatched greedily from my daily routine, the sudden inspirations that struck as I settled down into bed, the meals barely eaten. All of these and more I offered Garion, held inside that innocuous little flask. I wish I had more time to study its effects further, but precisely, time is not on our side. Good. Kept us waiting long enough, but at least you've done the job. Come with me, then. The heavy iron doors to the dungeon swing inwardly with a ponderous groan. Under the flickering light of the torches, I can make out, barely, the helmeted visages? I know how to say visages. That doesn't sound right. The helmeted faces of 4 guards standing straight and stiff as statues before their marshal. Wait here, Master Rosencreutz. I'll administer the serum to the prisoner myself. It won't be a pretty sight. I nod. Garion, where are the princes? You, and you. Garion jabs his fingers at 3 of the guards, who instantly snap to attention. Find the princes and bring them here with all haste. A matter of utmost urgency demands their presence. Yes, sir. The guards spring to life with unsurprising agility, trooping in a column out the door and up the stairs that wind into the palace. Yeah, that's not a commonly used term for sure. Definitely not. I've seen visage, however you say it, but visages is correct, is accurate. Do not let the princes enter before I come out. I understand, Lord Marshal, and thank you. Garion looks at me for a second, expressionless. To my surprise, he claps a heavy paw on my shoulder, making me stagger. Equally suddenly, and without a word, he turns away and I think that's supposed to be stomps down to the lower cells. Within the span of a few minutes, the princes arrive one after another. Something makes me think they've all been waiting for precisely this summons. Even Nazir, who is usually impossible to find, trips in merely half a minute after his brothers, carrying with him a determinedly nonchalant air. I stay for an interrogation, fellows. Or an execution. It will be neither. It shall be a willing confession of the truth, and nothing but the truth. So you've finished making the truth serum, Alexis. So I have. And I assume Garion is making the prisoner. I nod. Even as we speak. He does not want to be interrupted until he has finished the task. The puppet master will make him vomit it out. Yes, but to force the prisoner to take it, there are ways and means. None of which would be too pretty to watch, I must admit. It's not French in origin, so no random mirage-type pronunciation. Aurelius narrows his eyes. He opens his mouth, pauses, shrugs, and glances away, all in the space of a single breath. I see some Bishonen. There are definitely some Bishonen here. Mendy, stick around when we switch to... Well, when we go to take a break, because I'm going to show you the CGs I got from the other dating sim that I picked up at the same time as this one, which are... I'm not going to play it on stream because we played a little bit of it and it had some really heavy themes, and I was like, I don't know if I want to play this on stream because I don't know if it's going to like be triggering for anybody or something like that. But I have all the happy ending CGs from that game now, and there are some very pretty shonen in it, and or bishonen I should say, and fucking Yiguang is bae, and I love him so much. Anyways, ways and means, eh? Ways and means. True serum also lessens the hold of magic, of mind magic on its victims. So, once the initial struggle of forcing the prisoner to ingest it is overcome, a subsequent going should be easier and less unpleasant. Even as I say this, I hear a cell door banging open, then the loud thumps of many boots stomping across the stone-paved floors. Followed by the scratchy sound of something, or someone, being dragged along the floor. Silence falls over the room. Carry him in. Now, carefully. Ooh, that didn't sound careful. What was that sound effect? That sounded like they stabbed him. Half turned towards us, Garion directs two ashen-faced guards to deposit the burden they are carrying between them onto a single hard stone bench against the wall. He put up quite a fight at first. Or the devil inside me did. The words that issued from the throat of this broken shell that had been a lethal killer of men makes the hairs on my neck tingle. Its unnatural rasp suggests an unspeakable, unbearable terror, same as the twin points of glittering madness that hollows in the hollows of his sunken eyes. The devil made me do it, eh? Oh, I heard that one a lot in courts back in Spellor, usually after the defendant has had one too many drinks. Fool, you know not what you speak of. A mocking grin accompanies his words. I motion at Nazir to be quiet and turn to address the prisoner. What is your name? Cain. Of course it is. My lips twitch. What was the name you were given at birth? The prisoner's lips twist, and when he opens his mouth, again, each word sounds like they were wrenched out of him. Halder. Halder Dalman. I nod at Garion, but one of his guards is already scribbling down the interrogation. And your age? 31. Good. We might be able to track him down in the census. Having gotten the preliminaries out of the way, there are a few questions I must put to you. Oh, shit. I hope this doesn't have any effects on the actual game. Like, I hope they're just questions. Who do you serve? Were you placed under a mind control spell? I mean, that's obvious. Are you able to contact your employer? Okay, I think I can ask all of these if I can say I have no more questions. I'm just worried that they're going to be like, you can only ask 2. Alright, we're going to ask, who do you serve first? Who do you serve? Hi, Obel Grey. How you doing? Welcome in. I do not know. I spent a fortnight brewing the truth serum for this. You must have some idea. Tell us everything you know. The muscles on the prisoner's face contorts. It looks almost as if there are 2 minds inside that head, each fighting for the other for control. Finally, with a horrible spasm, the prisoner spits out his words through gritted teeth. They amount to little. I've never met the master, nor have I seen his face. How long have you served under him? 3 or 4 years. And you tell me that if you met him entirely by chance on the street, you would not recognize him? No. I might, if I heard him speak, for I know his voice. But by sight alone, he would be as much a stranger to me as he is to you. I don't suppose he told you his name either. Of course not. He's the master, and we call him so. So, you said you've heard his voice. Naturally. Male or female? The prisoner shoots Aurelius a baleful glance. Male. Certainly male. So much for that. What will I ask next? Can you contact him? Are you able to contact the employer? No longer. He was always the one that made one to contact me, and he knows I have been captured. That is why even now, the prisoner swallows. Even now I hear the worm inside my brain. It twists and slithers and demands one more death. His own death. Drawing a shuddering breath, the prisoner falls silent. I'm going to assume... Were you placed under a mind control spell? The prisoner makes a bitter, choking sound that took a few seconds for me to realize was laughter. I am. Rot him. Damn that evil, underhanded swine. You mean to say being under a mind control spell was not part of your contract? Of course not! What is to stop him from simply ordering us to kill ourselves once the work is finished and payment is due? And your men? They did not know as well? They did not until it was too late. But I did. I did. Right from the start. It was part of the deal. It was to make them easier to control. But I was supposed to be the exception from the deal. A note of whining complaint entered the prisoner's voice. From the corner of my eyes, I see Serin fold his arms, and Nazir silently shaking his head. They trusted you, and you trusted him. Yes, more fool them, and more fool me. Do you know how he placed you and your men under his mental domination? I knew nothing, saw nothing, sensed nothing. So much for that. Alright, that's it. I don't have anything else. Alright, so much for that. I bite my... They use that one a lot. So much for that. The phrase, I mean. Multiple times. Thought I would break my usual lurk and say hello for once. Hello. We're glad to have you here, lurking or not. I am more than happy to see you. I bite my bottom lips in thought. Bottom lips? Why was there a plural there? You only have one. There's something more I ought to ask. That night he said... I'd never have thought a Rosencreutz putting a magic chain on someone else. Perhaps he knows about the oath and the Rosencreutz. Then his master must be aware too. The High Council has worked hard for centuries to keep this secret, but everyone is prone to making mistakes. This is a matter of utmost importance. I must divert everyone's attention so I question him alone. What will I... Ah! Jesus Christ, that sound effect. Though bound, shackled, and chained, the prisoner writhes about in a series of jerky, unwholesome movements. Lord Marshal! Seize him! 2 guards dart past me to pin the prisoner by his shoulders to the wall. He emits a bone-chilling giggle and throws his head back, his mouth opens wide and his lips peel back, showing his teeth neat and white in a row. He's going to bite his tongue. Not on my watch. Stop with that sound effect. It's terrible. That is not the sound effect for punching someone. It sounds like you're just full-on stabbing them. One of the guards jams his fist to the prisoner's mouth just as it opens, wincing slightly when the teeth clamp down hard on the leather of his gauntlet. The other one extracts a length of cloth, which he forces into the prisoner's mouth. So soon? He drank the serum not an hour ago. That gives you an idea of what we had to deal with for the last 2 weeks. Jolly unnerving. Thank you, Nazir. Well, what do we do with him? He can't tell us anything more. That's not what I meant. Nazir, we understand what you meant, but there are concerns that are much more pressing to us. Like the nature of the mind controller's aura. Wait, I read Aurelius. Mind controller's power. They need more light in that dungeon, right? Look, they paid top dollar for that sound effect. They need to get their money's worth. A true deviant, then. There's no doubt about it. The power to dominate minds does not come from any of the 6 established elements of magic. Not to mention, he managed to use his power without his victim's notice. But I know nothing else of this matter. I'm an alchemist. Perhaps if we request a mage from the High Council, it might take too long. Even if we suppose he survives the ambush. What interests me is the nature of this deviant magic. It is constrained. It has to be. Or he could have used it on me, on you, even on Rosencreutz, instead of mucking about with this scum here. Mind your language, Aurelius. What's the language? Is it scum? But the prince speaks truth. I have wondered that myself. Sight doesn't seem to be involved, but sound of his voice, perhaps? Fruitless speculation. Unless we find more evidence by an investigation. Have you all forgotten something? What is it, Nazir? Oh, nothing particularly significant. Just a human life. Why don't we cut a deal with him? How? Nazir turns to the prisoner, who has clearly been listening to our discussion. Look here, old thing. You must have people you care about. A wife, you know? Children? Slowly, almost painfully, the prisoner nods. Help us, then. Do everything you can to help us track down this master of yours, and we'll do everything we can to protect you from him. We can grant you a pardon. We can fake your execution. We can... Nazir, think with your head, not your heart. As long as he draws breath, his master will know he lives. He is a prisoner. Aurelius stares at Halder for a heartbeat, his expression impossible to read. Are you still under your master's control? A nod. Will you try to commit suicide the moment you can? Another nod. And if somehow you free yourself from your physical restraints, will you try to kill everyone in this room? Grimly, the prisoner nods one more time. You see, we have no way to tell what extent the deviant has seized control of his mind. He is not only a criminal, but worse, a dangerous and unpredictable element in our midst. I don't believe we should even discuss our plans in front of him. What if his master is listening through him? Aurelius is right. Guards, take him away. At Garion's nods, the guards see... Wow, I can't fucking read plurals, apparently. At Garion's nod, the guards seize the unresisting prisoner and drag him in the direction of his cell. Nazir, that man is a murderer. And for all we know, a regicide. His life is surely forfeit, whether at the hands of the master or by the arm of the law. As this kingdom's princes, we do have the royal grace to pardon, you know. Pardon, Nazir. That man might have been the one who killed our father. You're just afraid he'll try to kill you. And not even because he wants to, but because he's made to. Nazir, the thought of death frightens many, but... Aurelius taps his chin thoughtfully. For others, evidently, the thought of death elates. Your Highness, if you would make your meaning clearer... It's perfectly obvious, Garion. I meant the deviant who controls the assassin. At this moment, there is one death he must desire above all others. You want to use the prisoner as bait for the mind controller. Precisely. This isn't a game of chess, Aurelius, and the prisoner is not a sacrificial pawn. We should keep him safe, hidden, and closely guarded while we make our next make our next plans based on what he told us. Safe, hidden, closely guarded? Yes. This way, if we discover any news, we can wheel him out to question him again. My dear brother, I don't mean to spite you, but have you thought about what you will say to the nobility living in the palace? That... What is there to say? Whether this assassin is truly one out of his own volition, we don't know. For all I care, he might be a victim that was forced into mind control. What's wrong with wanting to help him? Not wrong, but perhaps naive. The night they attacked, not many were implicated, but a noble family got harmed, albeit not severe. They didn't raise any issue until now because we told them we're questioning the prisoner. So the moment they know that there's no information to get from him, they'll want him dead? Personally, I do not care how the nobility and Regency Council think about my decisions. However, his eyes briefly flickered to Serin before turning to Garion. Garion? So I get the feeling we're going to have to pick something. So Aurelius wants to... Okay. Each of your highness's plans must have much to commend that. I personally believe caution is our best strategy. But what does the royal tutor suggest? Ah, fuck. For us, we're going to save. Don't make me make decisions, game. Return. This matter is very complicated, and I don't think there is a solution that can please everyone. Nazir wants to help the prisoner. Aurelius suggests using him as bait. Serin advises caution. As for me... Okay, so this is where we're kind of picking who we're siding with. Yes, the prisoner probably wants to die. Also, it's tough on the guards to hold him. It's true. But we have to go with who we're romancing. I'm surprised we don't have an option for, like, Garion's thing, because he's kind of suggesting stuff too, but we're mostly sticking with the princes. So Nazir wants to help him. Aurelius wants to use him as bait. We're just going to continue on with the current information. We've gotten all we need from the prisoner for the present. I also vote that we keep him in reserve. Very well. My men and I will do our best to hold him. Based on the leads that he has told us so far, we should be able to inquire how the deviant assassins have managed to infiltrate the palace. It is... This music is such a sudden change in mood, I don't know what to do with it. It is these leads we should be investigating... It is these leads we should be investing our energy and resources into investigating. I find myself nodding in agreement as Serin speaks. And once those investigations bear fruit, we can always drag the prisoner back out for a round of interrogation. It will help us piece together the new information we discover. True. Not to mention, this way we get to avoid tipping the deviant off that we're onto his game, either. With a bit of luck, he won't be the wiser that we found out what we had from the prisoner today, which could give us an advantage. Nor, thank you for the host. Fine. Oh, all right. I bow, as I must, before the will of the majority. Then that's settled. So, I clap my hands to draw everyone's attention. Now that we've decided what to do with the prisoner, we must plan our next move against the deviant and his assassins. Go on with your daily tasks and give me any suggestions you come across. I like how we're suddenly heading this like we're just a tutor, but okay. How goes it? It goes. How goes your day? What do we have? We have any missions? The butlers. I think that's going to be etiquette. Where are we on stuff? I am... Got your second vaccine dose. Nice. Congratulations. I have not gotten my first. I hope one will open up soon. We have nothing in leadership. I don't really want to pour points into leadership anyways, though. We also have very little in beauty. Do I want to be pretty? Do we end up picking to romance? Right now we're working on Serin. So we're going after Serin, the oldest. Hi, Utopian. How you doing? Hello, nerds watching. Hello, nerds watching a nerd, and the nerds are watching. Hello, how are you doing? Yes, we're going after Serin. We're saving Aurelius for last because he's hard. He doesn't like us. So we'll probably do his run last. But currently we're trying to get Serin to love us. What do we need? Probably... I don't know. More etiquette. We definitely need more etiquette. But I don't want to do too much. What are we at? 17? Everything else is all the way in like the 50s and 60s. Oof. I feel like we also probably need beauty and leadership. I don't know. What can we shore up for? Fire. Let's give him some more fire. And darkness. Fire, darkness, and water. And Serin. Wait, that was Serin. Sorry. Nazir. Light, darkness, and water. Light, darkness, and water. And Aurelius needs wind. Aurelius is actually doing pretty good on a lot of things, but wind and wood. And then maybe a little bit more fire. Wind, wood, and fire. Okay. Most curious of all branches of magic is the magic of the deviant. Yes, so I've noticed. I sigh and flip over the page. Sunlight flows through windows, flashing on the dust motes that dance and spin in my airy study. Outside, a brilliant day of high summer beckons against a clear blue sky. I resolutely turn my face away from the window and back to the book. In other words, deviants are unaligned to the 6 natural elements of magic, and instead possess a range of often unusual talents, such as divination, peering through the fog of time to what is to be, snatching glimpses of events that have not yet come to pass. There are also those who told that deviants may erase or tamper with memories, implanting false remembrances in place of truth, making their victims lie with the sincerest vehemence of truth. Getting close, but not quite what I'm after. Another useless tome. I snap the book shut and dump it to the side of the table, already piled high with grimoires, scrolls, and parchments. Wow, my reading on that line was weird. Those dang deviants and their art. They should start a website. I'm alive, how about you? I'm good. I snap the book shut and dump it to the side of the table, already piled high with grimoires, scrolls, and parchments I had borrowed from the Eskian Royal Library. Deviants have attracted Scholarly. Deviants have attracted scholarly attention from mages, both in and outside of the High Council. However, their rarity, combined with their intense secrecy, born of widespread hostility, has made the knowledge of them mostly guesswork and hearsay. I was hoping the collection in the Royal Library here could supplement my readings in the Library of the High Council, but unfortunately, Quick unlurk to say that your voice is very pleasing to listen to, and quick pronunciation tip. Rosenkreutz is pronounced Rosenkreutz. Rosenkreutz? Rosenkreutz. Because German is a very silly language. Alright, thank you. Thank you, Seeker. Rosenkreutz. 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 I have to say that a couple times. Hold on. Rosenkreutz. Rosenkreutz. I feel like it's probably like Rosenkreutz, but I will do my best. I look at the immense pile cluttering my table, the accumulated labor of another wasted morning, and give my head a rueful shake. No luck so far. But with the stakes so high and rising higher, I cannot permit myself to give up. Perhaps tomorrow I might come across something interesting. A glance at the hourglass tells me it will soon be time for morning lessons with the princes. A little glumly, I pack up my teaching notes from the lesson and start making my way to the classroom. The lesson with the princes finished uneventfully, and the remnants of the day went by in a humdrum, drowsy daze. I'm on my way back to my study to conduct more research on the origins and users of deviant magic when someone grabs me from behind by the elbow. I spin around and see Prince Aurelius, his mouth set in a grim line. I have bad news. The 4 words make my heart freeze. The prisoner? What else? Half an hour ago, 2 men disguised as palace guards infiltrated the dungeon and murdered the wardens there. They either killed the prisoner or helped him commit suicide. I don't suppose we managed to catch the assassins alive? Of course not. They splashed acid on their faces before our guards could reach them. He made them use acid? Yes, their faces are burned all out of recognition. For a while, the sickening suggestion of that gruesome scene captures my thoughts. I notice Aurelius looking at me significantly. His usual cool and detached expression etches upon the marble pallor of his face. In this crisis, in any crisis, he expects me to think. A thought nudges the back of my mind. It's not just sadism, is it? His choice of acid. That's what I thought. If their corpses were whole, someone in the palace would have recognized them. As it is, no one will ever be able to tell. What does that mean? I don't know. Our traitor and the mastermind do not want the assassins to be identified. Unfortunately, they have succeeded. We have not sufficient evidence to guess their motives or trace who might be involved in the operation. And now the best asset we have is gone. Yes. Aurelius looks like he's about to add something, but stops himself. Don't be too hard on yourself. We'll catch him. Before I can make any reply, he has already turned away, striding down the corridor with his cold, imperious air. Do we have any new missions? Just that one. I wonder if we have high enough. I don't even know if it's worth it, though. I need the money, though. Give me money. Okay, we don't need Truth Serum. Can we make the salve yet? Serin can make it. And Nazir. Okay, let's make that, just in case. Aw, look at that cute little chitty. Okay, so we have a salve. We have an iron bar. We don't need that anymore right now. No one can make this. It would have to be Serin. Wood, 15 water, and 15 wind. Hold on. Water is 8 and wind is 7. Okay, we'll have him do water and wind. See if we can get that up before we need that. Congrats, you've been trained as a magician for 69 years, and now you can finally make ramen. Right? Shit. What do I need? What do I need now? What do I need to train in? My beauty is super low, and so is my leadership. My combat is also not great, and my etiquette is still so far down. I feel like I should do etiquette. Like, I feel like that's gonna be the thing. It's gonna be like etiquette, intelligence. I know... I should... I don't know at this point if it's worth putting anything to leadership because the checks are just gonna continue getting higher, and it's already at 0. I might put some stuff into beauty? I don't know. Let's do beauty. Let's be pretty. Okay. And so, an uneventful week passed by. With the prisoners dead, it seems like our only lead is gone. Even though the inactivity is killing me, as I don't like to be on the passive side, I have no idea what I can do. Sighing, I close my eyes. Do I really have no choice but to wait until the mastermind strikes again? Oh, that's it? I didn't get anything else? Okay. Should we do this one? I don't know. Hold on. My etiquette... I know it's going to be etiquette. I just know because it's the butlers, and the butlers are etiquette people. I don't want to do it. I want to train. Fuck it. I want to train! My beauty is low. Okay, well, we'll raise beauty a little bit more. I don't know how much I should care about it or not. I think we're just gonna leave leadership. We are not a leader. And then next time we will do, like, etiquette and, charisma. Etiquette and charisma. Maybe I'll throw in a... Should I throw... I don't know if it's worth throwing, like, 1 in there. Let's throw in a charisma. I'm pretty and charismatic, alright? What did I need for Serin? I need him to be able to do 15 water, 15 wind, and then the 15 light. Yeah, so we'll leave him on what he's doing. We'll leave everybody on what they're doing for now. Hey, Plague Skull Fox, how you doing today? The senses and family options. It might be happening, like, in the background. Like, it wasn't an option we could do, though. Alright, we'll do that. That would be everything for today, Master... I'm gonna look at it again. Rosenkreutz. Master Rosenkreutz. Thank you, Raphael. Just as he is about to leave the room, Raphael hesitates and turns back once more. Actually, there is one other thing. His brows briefly press into a firm frown, and I notice concern in his eyes. The Lord Regent wants me to inform you that there is no need to undertake any missions for the time being. He's very concerned about you, since you've been pushing yourself too hard during the past few weeks. But... Raphael shakes his head, giving no leeway for discussion, and the protest dies in my throat. I see. Please give him my thanks, Raphael. He nods, and in the next second, he's out of the room. Okay, so now we can't do the butler mission. Oh well. I appreciate the Lord Regent's concern, I really do. However, this feels depressingly like I got my work taken away because of incompetence. Leaning back on my chair, I look out at the window, bright with sunlight. The clutter of documents makes on my desk splotchy patches of dark mahogany and paper white. Being mired in this disgraceful mess, physically my workplace and mentally my thoughts, is absolutely unlike me. Yet the assassinations, the killings, the gruesome suicides, the bloody skirmish within the palace, the recent deaths weigh heavily on my mind. Just who is the conductor behind this sinister orchestra of murder? What is their I was going to say, what is their motive? Oh, man, my mouth. What is their motive? And above all, how can they be stopped? I have failed dismally to find the answers behind these questions. Always, the deviant is one step ahead of me. One may fall, but he should fall by himself. Instead, though the failure is mine, others are suffering its consequences, many of them painfully and fatally. And I can only stand by and watch, unable to do anything. I feel so helpless. This isn't working. Perhaps a stroll will do me good. A breath of fresh air will clear my head. Realizing the importance of calming myself for what might be a long battle ahead, I make the decision to drop by the library. Maybe I can pick up a riveting book or two that will draw me in enough to take my mind off of these matters for a while. Okay, we're at the point where I don't know what's happening now. By the way, we've hit it, so I don't know what's going to happen anymore, so I'm scared we're going to fail stuff. So we're all going into this blind. Why isn't there a fourth quote? I don't know. That's weird. I will have to look into that. I have heat exhaustion. Other than that, I'm great. Thanks for asking. Oh no, Skull Fox. I have had that before, and it is not fun. Please drink so much liquid. Drink all the water and the electrolytes, and keep yourself nice and cool, because it is not great, and you don't want it to be heat. You don't want it to be heat stroke. That shit's not good. I stroll down the aisles between the shelves, letting my fingers brush across the spines of the books as I pass. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a flash of color, and I turn to find Prince Serin standing in front of a shelf. Most curiously, I discover that his gaze seems to be directed towards the pillar next to the shelf. Rather than the books. Tilting my head, I peer in the same direction as he does, but I find nothing of interest on the pillars. Yet Serin stays frozen in his position. If not for the occasional fluttering of his eyelids, I could easily mistake him for an extraordinarily realistic statue of the Crown Prince. You okay, Serin? Concern begins to well up inside me. I approach him slowly, but Serin does not react to the sound of my footsteps against the marble floor, echoing in the spacious chamber. The closer I draw to him, the clearer I can see the expression on his face, which is one that can only be described as troubled. I watch him for a moment longer, and I finally break the eerie silence. Have you perhaps noticed something worrying about the pillars in front of you? If they're about to crumble, I dare say we should make a run for it, preferably immediately. My voice apparently succeeds in pulling Serin out of his thoughts, and his gaze shifts to focus on my face instead. It seems to take him a moment to process my words, and when he does, mirth enters his eyes. I am happy to report that there is nothing amiss with the construction of these pillars, at least as far as I can tell. I do believe the library should be safe for us to stay in for now. Oh no, now I'm worried about Serin. Stay hydrated or we'll make you. Serin is the opposite of a flash of color, though. He's just black and white. He's got blue. He's got a lot of blue. There's blue on his brooches. He's got blue in his eyes. His hair is dark blue. Arguably, we're like black and white too, because that's all we're wearing. So I can save my evacuation plans for another day. Thank you for your most useful insight, Your Highness. Serin gives a small chuckle, and I note with satisfaction that some of the clouds have cleared from his face slightly after our exchange. I'm glad to be of service. It's the least I can do to make up for failing to notice your presence. You are forgiven for the indiscretion, but only if you care to share the thoughts that had so absorbed you in the first place. I don't mean to pry, but I couldn't help but notice that you look a little bit distressed just now. Could I be of help in any way? At the very least, I could lend a listening ear if you'd like. Do you guys want me to let Hank in? I don't know if you can hear that in the background. Hank? We're gonna let Hank in. hadn't heard. Do you want to tell the class? Oh, really? That's amazing. Thank you for that insight. Oh, really? Uh-huh. What else? Uh-huh, okay. Uh-huh. You're saying I should keep talking to Serin because he's cute? Oh, you're cuter. Okay, I get it. He screams. So much to tell. He does. He has so much to share with the class. Come here, buddy. Come on. You want to sit on my lap? Come sit. I love you. Do you love me? I'm going to assume that's yes. He headbutts me. He's blue. Da-ba-dee da-ba-die. Da-ba-dee da-ba-die. Da-ba-dee da-ba-die. Don't click things, buddy. What did it just say? I don't know. Buddy, please. No, don't click on stuff. I want to see what he says. Hank is out here. We're gonna click this so he doesn't accidentally like choose somehow to like delete all my saves and delete the game with some hotkey I don't know exists. Come here. Hi, buddy. I can hear him. I can also hear him meowing, but show him who's boss and make him a new room instead. He raises a very good point, don't you, buddy? Yes, you do. He's also decided to flop on my desk. Is that a kitty I hear? Other than the one howling outside my door, begging to be let in? That is, yes, it is. In fact, I will show you. Do you want to say hi? You're on the desk. Let's show people your pretty face. Do you want to say hi? This is his pretty face. Hello. Hello. Oops. Where are you going? That's not showing your pretty face. What? What? What are you doing, buddy? I just want them to see you. But not me. Nobody sees me. Hey, there we go. Hey, there we go. Hank is our overlord. It's true. Long live Hank. Hello, buddy. You can see your hand right there. I hired someone to have this hand. I'm a bunny. See? In this corner over here. I didn't mean to poke you, bud. I'm sorry. I'm a rabbit. This is just an actor I use to pet Hank so that y'all can't tell that I'm secretly just a rabbit on the internet. What a handsome lad. Isn't he? Isn't he just? He's a good boy. He deserves all the attention. Learn Rem lore. Rem has professional actors. It's true. Well, I have professional hand actors. I can't afford a face actor. That's why I just keep it as my rabbit self. You're literally a digital rabbit. Interesting. Yes, exactly. Do we want music while we pet the cat? Because I don't think I can play the game while he's here. He's too demanding. Can I show them your toe beans? Do you want to show off your toe beans? No toe beans? No toe beans, just pets? What was I listening to? YouTube. I'll just put that on while I pet Hank, because otherwise it's very quiet. Look at his pretty face. The cat on this side of the screen is a bored gremlin who insists on jumping on full tables. Aw, that is also Hank. He does that too. Digital rabbit, does that make you Rememon? Is that a Digimon? I should learn more about Digimon. I haven't watched that in years. Face actors are surprisingly expensive. I had one and they almost made me bankrupt. Maybe I... Hi. Does your face itch? Is it lick time? What? I don't think I can show you the toe beans. Why does your face itch? Can I pet it? Will that help? Hello. Scritch, scritch, scritch. What? Oh, it's grooming time. All the time. Cool. Toe beans. Toe beans? Toe beans? Toe beans? Can I show toe beans? Can I show toe beans? No, no touch. No touch the toe beans. Pet the face. No touch the toe beans. Hank, can I go back to romancing pretty princes, please? It was a trick to get the hand actor to give even more pets, right? Yeah. He's very displeased now because I'm squishing him to prevent mischief. Squish the cat. Squish the cat. There's a vet on YouTube. He does videos, and one of the ways that he suggests if you're trying to restrain a cat on like the vet table is you don't hold them because they don't react to that right. You just gently squish the cat. Which is not to say that you like put a lot of force. You're just like holding them very gently and kind of firmly down, and that will restrain them. And so they ended up making, because so many people were watching the video, were saying, please make a T-shirt that says "Squish the cat" with like a flat cat on it, like a like, you know how like hamsters will be squish like that. It was really cute. We always squish the cat. Yeah, exactly, right? You get it. Okay, Hank has decided he's done. Whoop. So we're going to turn that off. Put the camera back over there, away from me, so it doesn't show the hand actor's face, because then I will have to pay them more. Are you good down there, buddy? Yeah? Okay. He's gonna sit on the floor for a while. X out of that so it doesn't actually start playing more. Marky Chin! Welcome, Raiders! How are you doing? Can I get a caster command for Marky? How was your stream, Marky Chin? Thank you so much for the raid. You always raid me. I really appreciate it so much. Thank you. I hope I can get the chance to raid you at some point. It's probably just a schedule thing. I have the same thing with Lucy Lover happen, because every time I end, I'll raid him. It goes, you always raid me, and I never raid you. And I'm like, it's just because I stream earlier than you, dude. So, the romances are going well. The seem to. I feel like we're at a point with, is it history that I need to push? Yeah, okay. So yeah, we're at a point where we're talking to Serin in the library, and he seemed a little troubled by something. So we're trying to encourage him to open up to us, because we can help. It's just how it goes, yeah. But thank you so much for the raid. I hope you guys had a good time in Marky's stream. Thank you for coming over with it. You were playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. How did that go today? We just had Hank on, but he's decided he's done being on the desk, so he is now hanging out behind us. Alright, I'm gonna keep reading. So a moment of silence hangs between us. Just when I thought Serin would offer a polite rejection, he lets out a sigh, his eyes growing dimmer than usual. I was thinking about the captured assassin. Alexis, do you think I made the wrong choice? Should I have made more of an effort to save the assassin from the magic controlling his mind? So it was this. Considering I was the one to make the final call to take the course of action suggested by Serin, I would have thought my opinion on this matter is fairly obvious. But I suppose Serin is still bothered by his decision to go against his brother's wishes of helping the assassin. How can I best ease Serin's mind? Ah, jeez. Ah, no. Don't make me choose. Hold on. We're gonna save. We're gonna save. Doing these games blind means I don't know what the best one is for getting him to love us. I know the feelings, just how it goes. You're trying to collect every single item from wild encounters and got stuck on Lapras for 2 hours, so we didn't quite finish. Oof. We had a nice evening for sure. Now it's time to enjoy this. Royal Alchemist FMAB looks different. What's FMAB? It's oh, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Okay, my brain took a minute. I got it. I need to watch that. I saw the original run of Full Metal Alchemist and the original, like, end movie, and I actually did cosplay for that, but I've never watched Brotherhood, and I know people keep telling me I need to watch Brotherhood, but I cannot put myself through the dog girl scene. It hurts. I'll do it at some point. I'm gonna do it. I got things I gotta watch, so it's on my list. So we're okay. I think of these two choices, the first choice is if you're kind of pursuing an end where you're encouraging him to be kingly, I guess. I don't know. I want to reassure him that I understand. I feel like the personal touch needs to be in this. So I'm going to reassure Serin that I understand his decision. Hey, charisma. I understand your decision, Highness. I would have come to the same conclusion as you did. And in fact, I did agree with your arrangement in the end. I don't believe you should regret the choice you made. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's not going to influence it. Maybe it's just a whether or not I get charisma or probably leadership out of that. Oh, Hank wants out already. Let's go, buddy. Come on. He finished Danganronpa 2, and now I'm in the middle of V3. I absolutely love the franchise. I have Danganronpa. I should play it. I got through some of it, and I wasn't super impressed, but I know someone, it might have been you, Shrift, somebody told me that I shouldn't give up on it until I reach the first death, which I haven't reached yet, so maybe I'll try it again. I was just not impressed with it at the time. Yeah. Never seen it at all. Perhaps I need to change that. Full Metal yeah, I would, if you've never seen it, from everything everyone has said, I would just watch Brotherhood, because it's the same TV show, except they actually ended up following the manga, and the ending was made a lot more sense. Because when they first did the TV show, they hadn't finished the manga yet, so they wrote an ending that had nothing to do with, like, it was just really weird. And I remember, like, there was a turning point when it stopped following the manga, and it just kind of got strange when I was watching it. I was like, wow, this isn't as good as it used to be. So from my understanding, from what people have told me, they did Brotherhood again, and they did it because the ending of the manga had happened, and it was better. And so they're like, fuck it, we're just going to redo the entire series, and we'll finish it with what was in the manga, and people are going to like it better. And a lot of people did. So, tell Hank I love him. Hank, Utopian loves you. I told him. They have an anime for the first game and an anime as a sequel as the second game. Oh, for Danganronpa? Yeah. Serin's lips curve slightly, but the smile doesn't quite reach his eyes. It relieves me to hear you say that you understand my choice. However, Nazir seems to disagree with my approach. I cannot help but wonder if I have erred in judgment and failed one of my people. You are the future king, Your Highness. It's your duty to consider all your people, and not just one. Prince Nazir was kind to wish to help the assassin, but the truth is that it's not always wise nor possible to help every individual in need. As noble as these intentions may be, this kind of mentality can be a tad too idealistic, or even dangerous. I believe Prince Nazir understands as well. He might have been slightly emotional at this time, but I'm sure that once he sits down and contemplates the situation again, he will come to accept your decision, even if he disagrees. Serin appears to mull over my words for a few moments. Serin appears to mull over my words, and a few moments later, a more genuine smile spreads across his face, eliciting the same response from me. I very much hope you're correct. Thank you for listening to me, Alexis. It was my pleasure. I should thank you for trusting me in such private thoughts. I appreciate your reassurance and efforts to cheer me up, even though my worries are nothing compared to yours when you are the one that is targeted by this unknown mastermind. I don't know if your worries are nothing, Serin. You're literally the prince of a king who has just been assassinated. That's pretty fucking worrisome. I played the ludicrously excellent fan translation of the first Danganronpa and the official release of the second. While I enjoyed both, I have no real desire to play any of the other games in the series. The anime was rushed and feels sloppy. I haven't seen any of the anime at all for that either. Fast-paced summary of the visual novel, though. Interesting. Serin's face softens further, and for some reason, I can feel a flushing rising to my cheeks under his attentive gaze. What do you mean, for some reason? We know why, Alexis. We understand why you're blushing. I just like to imagine that there's the character we play, and then there's us, like us as the player, and that we're like this voice in their head that's just like who, like they're just sitting there like, I wonder why my face is flushing, and then just out of nowhere in the back of their head, like, we know why you're flushing. God damn it, he's pretty. You're blushing because he's pretty. Get a clue. And it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Anyways. How are you feeling about the situation? Is there anything I can do for you in return? I'm faring well enough, I suppose. I'm trying to stay preoccupied so that I don't get consumed by my thoughts. A solid plan, I must say. And one that I should have adopted so that you wouldn't and one that I should have adopted so that you wouldn't have to find me with my head in the clouds either. Is that why you're here? Are you in search of a good book? Indeed. Would you happen to have anything to recommend, Your Highness? Serin's smile widens, and he lifts a finger, signaling for me to wait. I'm sorry, as a librarian? Or somebody looking for library work because I'm unemployed. But as a librarian, the bookworm will always have my heart first. You got some good books for me, Serin? Fuck yeah, that is my love language. What do you got? Let's go. I'll read it all. In fact, I have just the perfect suggestion. Please, give me a moment. I'm sure the novel is here somewhere when I replaced it last time after I finished it. So he's gonna give us his favorite novel. Ah! This is why nobody loves me, because I make this noise. Can you imagine me on a date with somebody that I'm, like, thinking is cute? Just me sitting there like, they're like, oh yeah, like, how are you doing? What's your favorite thing to drink? I'm like, I like tea! Iced coffee! Oh my god. Oh, what is wrong with me? What kind of tea? Oolong! God damn it, I love oolong! It's so good! Ah, what is wrong with me? Anyways. Serin soon manages to locate the novel, which I admittedly barely glanced at, as I was more taken instead with our conversation about our mutual love for reading as we are making our way out of the library. You're a nerd, Alexis! I'm choking on my own hair. God damn it. I need to put this back in a ponytail. Ugh. Where'd my hair tie go? Holy shit. I breathed in deeply and like fucking got a mouthful of hair. I don't know where my hair tie is. It was literally on my desk 5 seconds ago. This is why I gotta cut my hair. Honestly, I feel like giving someone your favorite novel first thing is the ultimate sign of trust, right? That's what I'm saying! You don't give someone your favorite book unless you like them. Like, you don't, that is deep lore about a person, right? You don't just like, oh yeah, this is my favorite book, I think it'll help you. You don't do that shit because you know if they reject it, they've rejected a piece of your heart. Anyways. Nothing's wrong with you. Everything's fine. Don't worry. The only bad thing is that you haven't played that Phineas and Ferb's second dimension game adaptation thing. I'm failing, Effie. I'm sorry. Serin soon manages to locate the novel, which I admittedly barely glanced at, as I was more taken instead with our conversation about our mutual love of reading, as we are making... Wow, that was a weird way of reading that. Serin soon manages to locate the novel, which I admittedly barely glanced at, as I was more taken instead with our conversation about our mutual love of reading as we were making our way out of the library. I don't like any of the ways that I just read that. As Serin and I are heading to different parts of the castle, we eventually part ways. Yet, the smile that has been present on my face since I encountered him in the library lingers long after I return to my room. Oh, look, we got a CG. Well, it's not CG, but we got a sketch of Serin, and he's really pretty. That means we're on Serin's route. That's definitely a Serin's route CG right there. What time is it? 3 o'clock? I can keep reading. My voice is okay. I don't want to go too long because I don't want to mess up my voice, but I think we should be fine. I think we'll do like another 30 minutes, maybe. I'm debating taking my break now or not. How long have I been streaming for? 2:24? Okay, we'll go a little longer. Well, we're gonna save real quick. Deep lore about a person. I love that. It is deep lore. The stroll, the fresh air, and the unexpected chat with Serin has indeed done me a lot of good. The choices I had made, that we had made, perhaps some of them were for the best. Certainly there are others that weren't. In either case, it is too late to agonize over them now. I might not have been able to protect everyone I wanted to from the machinations of the deviant. But what is important is that the princes and I have survived so far. The princes have not just survived, they are growing, maturing, forged and tempered by events as iron must be forged and tempered by fire to turn it into steel. And I think I'm growing too. Whatever happens, I shall do my best by them, guarding vigilantly against the next attack. As long as I don't lose my spirit, it will be our turn to strike. Hey, oh, what did we get? My growth? Okay, I don't know what that achievement's for. The Grimoire gave us something on Serin. I think I have to go to the other Grimoire? What do you mean? No, it's just characters. Yeah, there we go. Aw, I like this. Serin is the eldest. So I think the only thing we had on here was Serin is the eldest child before. Maybe not. Serin is the eldest child and heir to the throne. Although he can be rather distant, he is very caring and gentle, especially towards his subjects. These character traits, however, may stand in opposition to what is expected of a future king. As an avid reader, Serin can often be found in the library. Okay. I don't have any more missions. That's great. Wonderful. I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe I wasn't doing enough missions and it just turned it off for me. That's weird. Treasuries, okay. Missions were how you get more money, though, so... Whoops. Let's see what we need to up. My beauty is at 25. I don't know if I want to... I'm worried I need more etiquette. Or combat, I don't know. Charisma and intelligence seem to be the main checks for, like, social stuff. Also, etiquette. I think beauty sometimes. Combat seems to be the main check for the assassination attempts, though. I think I'll leave it as it is for now, and then I will see how I feel in a little bit. What do I need to shore up for him? Let's shore up darkness and fire and wind. Darkness, fire, and wind. For Serin. For Nazir, his lowest scores 11, 13, and 13. Water, wood, and light. Water, light, and wood. And then for Aurelius, we can shore up, light, wind, and I think pretty much that's pretty mostly good. Light, wind, and I guess wood. And then after that, I feel like he's pretty high on a lot of stuff. Wind, wood, and light. Okay. You'll see how we feel about assassination. No, I just mean we'll see how we feel about our choices for raising our stats. Carefully, I close and lock my study's door behind me as I run through the list of required materials. The servant's request was nothing noteworthy, save for the number of steps. I suppose it would be best to reread the recipe. Aurelius, so hear me out. Prince Nazir's voice echoes throughout the corridor. I stop for a moment and wonder if he might need some help. Ah, shit, this is going to be an etiquette check, isn't it? Well, I suppose the task at hand can wait for a little while. Belle begged me for the chance to meet you, and, rounding the corner, I stumble upon a bizarre scene. Lady Ishbel and Nazir, each hefting a rather large basket, are trapping Prince Aurelius in the small alcove where he has apparently been sitting for some time. The stern prince, having set his thumb in his book to mark his place, notes my arrival with what I assume to be just the barest hint of relief. So, please forgive me, Your Highness, for last time. She stops when she notices Prince Aurelius's attention on me. Both she and Nazir turn, and his eyes brighten in recognition. My dearest Alexis! Master Rosenkreutz. Wait, no. Rosenkreutz. Kreutz. Master Rosenkreutz, good afternoon. Your Highness, Lady Ishbel. I give a slight bow, to which Lady Ishbel clumsily replies with a curtsy because of her large basket. I heard a commotion and wanted to investigate. Do you hear that, Belle? We made a commotion. Prince Nazir laughs and Lady Ishbel giggles. I can't help but smile, infected by their delights, as I gesture toward their baskets. Where might you be headed? Both glance down towards the containers as though they had forgotten them. Oh yes, we plan on distributing food. Wait, distributing food at the poor's quarters. The initiative is Belle's, of course. She is a true paragon of virtue. Lady Ishbel blushes deeply, lowering her gaze. Even still, I can tell she enjoys the flattery. I glance at Prince Nazir, wondering how she managed to rope him into such a thing. Is this true? A reflection of House Yude's truly generous spirit. Nazir laughs. The rations are ours. She convinced me to open the royal coffers. Prince Nazir is so generous. My father, we... She lowers her head as if ashamed, but it's brief. I'm afraid we're not a wealthy house. But ever since I came to... Wait. I'm afraid we're not a wealthy house. But ever since I was elevated to my current status, I've tried not to forget where I came from. Elevated? I wasn't always Lady Ishbel, you see. My mother... She was too ashamed to tell him. To tell anyone, really. Oh... She flounders, but even without all the pieces in place, it's easy to piece together an affair or a youthful dalliance. There are many reasons children are born out of wedlock. I see. I offer another smile to show that I am without judgment. Prince Nazir regards me appreciatively. Encouraged, Lady Ishbel speaks up again. I notice how tightly she holds the basket, but whether from excitement or fear, I can't tell. I grew up very poor, Master Rosenkreutz. I'm gonna fuck that up every time now, I'm sorry. I gotta hydrate. I grew up very poor, Master Rosenkreutz. I know the uncertainty of whether one will eat or starve all too well. When I told Prince Nazir I wished to share the bounty bestowed upon me after my father took me in. She looks at him with genuine gratitude. Nazir attempts to resist preening and promptly fails. He even offered to accompany me. Isn't he generous? I nod with understanding. In a way, I finally understand why Nazir seems to be such good friends with her. The way they care for the common folks is the same. Birds of a feather flock together, after all. Indeed. In that case, I wish you two a good time in town. Thank you. Maybe you would care to join us, Master Rosenkreutz? Me? A splendid idea, I'd say. Come, let us do charity work together. With baskets in hand, Lady Ishbel looks eager and hopeful. Nazir shares her indulgent smile. I glance at Prince Aurelius, who, behind their backs, allows a small and cynical smirk to grace his features. Did they want to rope him into this? Am I now taking his place? Alright, let's go. Go with them, pay 200 coins. I have access to 650. Should I spend some on charity? We will do that. Assassin's Creed. Are you sleep deprived? I don't know, Effie. But if you need more sleep, please get some. It's the creed of each individual assassin instead of assassins as a group, maybe? I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game, so I don't know. The world's worst RPG also has a player's handbook, despite usually needing multiple players. I have other commitments to return to later, but I shall accompany the two of you for a while. Splendid! Then let's part, like... Sanea! Sanea! Thank you for the raid! Hello! How are you guys doing today? Welcome in. Can I get a caster command for Sanea, please? It's a Sanea raid. Hi, Slow Cloud. How you doing? You were last playing Untitled Goose Game. Hi, Uli! How was the Goose Game, Sanea? I haven't played that game. I have seen so many people play it, though. It looks very fun. Thank you for the raid again. Hi, Tim. How you doing? Sleepy raid? Are you sleepy? We're romancing princes and avoiding political assassinations. So, if you're sleepy, that's alright. This isn't a particularly demanding games in terms of attention. There's not a lot of loud noises, for the most part. Splendid, then let's depart right away. As Nazir grabs me by the shoulder, steering me down the corridor, Lady Ishbel hastily bows to Prince Aurelius before following after us. I spent the remainder of the afternoon in town with them, and only returned to work during the evening. However, looking at Nazir and Lady Ishbel's happy faces, as well as the citizens, I'd say it was a day very well spent. Is that rabbit one of your drawings? It's a very different style. Yeah, I hand animated all of my rabbit avatars. And so, Father, I only write this letter because I wish for you to know that I am faring well, and that I have not met any new obstacles in some time. I push the parchment aside and look up from my desk. Come in! The door opens and Raphael enters. Rabbitars? You are, but mostly Sanea. Ah, I see. Is this the VN that you kept dying in? Yeah, we died a couple times in this one. It is... We haven't had any new deaths. We only have the 3. So we've still got some that are locked. A kind smile crosses his lips when he notices the cluttered books and research material on my table. Feeling slightly self-conscious about the mess, I begin tidying up while we converse. My apologies, Master Rosenkreutz. I hope I'm not interrupting something important? Not at all. I was simply writing a letter. Is something the matter? I was hoping to bring a matter of great importance to your attention. Although I understand that you may still be exhausted from all the incidents these past few weeks. If that's the case, please say so and I can leave you be. Lately I've been feeling better than ever. But thank you for your concern, Raphael. I'm better off focusing on work instead of worrying anyways. You're gonna lurk, Skullfox? No worries. Enjoy your lurk. Thank you for being here. Raphael's expression softens and he gives me an appreciative nod. I'm glad to hear it. Recently, we received several special requests, all addressed to you, Master Rosenkreutz. Rosenkreutz? I think I messed it up already again. Word of your talents in alchemy and enchanting have reached the noble's representative. She would like to request an item from you. The noble's representative? That's new. Yes, although it is somewhat informal. I see. What kind of item is she asking of me? Enchanted cloth. Cloth? Yes, Master Rosenkreutz. Kreutz? I've already messed it up. I also think I'm going to mess this one up. I'm pretty sure it's not said Seridwin. Seridwin? Seridwin? It's an Irish name from my understanding, and I'm pretty sure it's not pronounced that way. It's pronounced a little bit differently, but I'm going to say Seridwin. Lady Seridwin of House Natharia. Natharia? Natharia. Natharia. Natharia? Natharia. I think it's Natharia. Lady Seridwin of House Natharia needs it for a new ball dress. The prettier the better, it says. Should I have expected anything else from a noble? One part of me wants to laugh. Another wants to burst into tears. Caradwin? Okay. I suppose that I can. As if reading my mind, Raphael shoots me a sympathetic smile and gives another appreciative nod. I can't help but smile back. One of your friends is Welsh, Carrie. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm gonna believe... I'm gonna go with that, Estantia, because that seems more accurate than Seri. Thank you, Master Rosenkreutz. This request is due in 2 weeks, so please get to it as soon as you can. Of course. However, you said there were a few requests. Am I to make enchanted wine for the next ball as well? An amused chuckle escapes Raphael's lips and he slowly shakes his head. No, nothing like that. The Merchants Guild selects a new representative in just a week. They want to commission a ghost bell from you as a gift. My eyes widen ever so slightly. I didn't think anyone in Eskia had heard of that item. At the very least, Raphael confirms my thoughts. I'm afraid I have no idea what that is. It won't be a problem. I know its use and I can easily make one. I'm happy to hear that. They asked for the item to be ready in 5 weeks. I'll keep track of the requests for you and give you reminders when they're due. Please keep in mind that more requests will be coming in from now on. Although you should try and fill as many of them as possible, you can't do every single one. I like that little bit of tutorial right there saying, like, you can't make everyone happy. Only focus on the requests you think are important, and be sure not to let them get in the way of your health either. You have a bad habit of pushing yourself too hard, Master Rosenkreutz. So I should try my best, but always remember I can't possibly please everyone. Exactly. I understand. Thank you, Raphael. Hey, we have representative missions. Alright. And new crafting stuff. So these are the item requests. They want cloth and one wants a ghost bell. Can I make... Ooh. 40 light and 40 dark. Jesus Christ. What? Hold up. How long do I have? 2 weeks? Who's at 40 anything? Aurelius is on darkness 65. His light's at 13. I think I could maybe... Oh, probably not. What about Serin? His light's at 73. His darkness is at 12. Okay, so they're both kind of in the same position. Not really helpful. What about Nazir? Are you anywhere near 40? No. Yeah, okay. I guess just pick one. We could have Serin just learn a bunch of darkness. What else are we gonna need? Hold on. Where are we? Ghost. Oh, that's the ghost spell that's 40 light, 40 dark. What's the cloth? Oh, the cloth. Oh, Aurelius can do this already. Never mind. Jesus Christ, the ghost spell is way harder. My brain was not on the right thing. The cloth is easy. Aurelius can do that already. Okay, we'll do that now. Because we can. Can we synthesize anything else? Hold on. The bell, 40 light, 40 dark. That's a lot. I want to see what it does, though, so I kind of want to. Fire and darkness for glass beads? Preserved milk. Well, we can make it, so we might as well do that. Jeez, it's colorful cloth. 50 light, 110 darkness, and 110 water. Well, that would have to be Aurelius, because Aurelius is... But we'll have to raise him up. I don't know if it's going to be any good, though. Like, I don't know what it's going to be for. Explosives. 130 darkness and some fire. Okay, why don't we start raising... raising Aurelius's darkness, because we're going to need that high for something anyways. Everybody's just going darkness. Tries to please everyone. Hey, Art Rock Doodles. By the way, was it you? Hold on. It was Art Rock Doodles. I'm sorry that I missed it on Saturday. Effie pointed out that you redeemed a sketch. So we will be doing that sometime this week. So let me know if there's a let me know what you want. Go ahead and send me a DM in Discord or on Twitter, whichever one you have that you want to do that through. And or you can post it in the Discord server if you don't mind making it like where people can see it. Just tell me what you want. And also, if you want me to do it when you're there versus if you don't mind if I do it when you're not there, depending, because I know that, you know, schedule wise, if you can't make it, I don't want to do it if you don't want us to be not be able to see the process. But yeah, send me that stuff and we will do that. Suddenly reminded of the Atelier series. That sounds vaguely familiar. That might be on my wish list. I don't know what it's about though. Was there, hold up real quick. What are we gonna need high fire or high wind for? That one only needs 30 fire. That one, water and darkness means that's gonna be Aurelius. We just have to get his light up too. Fire and water. I guess we could raise Nazir's water so we can make fruit wine. This one is also going to have to be Nazir cream tarts because that's fire and wind. And then he's also going to need really high wood. Holy shit. Okay. Wait. No, fruit wine. Need to raise his water. Okay, we'll raise his water first. What am I raising? For me, what is my stat? 32 beauty. I don't know if I need that anymore. Let's do some etiquette, and my charisma is pretty high. I feel like intelligence should be next. I'm worried about combat too. Let's do etiquette. And intelligence? Okay, we'll see how this does. You sent me info, no worries. Alright, awesome. The corridors near my study are all but deserted. This morning's lessons may be over, but I still have plenty of work to do today. Master Rosenkreutz? Ah! I jump and nearly drop my books. My heart races as I turn around, half expecting to find an assassin. But instead, it's a young woman. Her eyes are a brilliant emerald color, and her hair is like spun sunlight. She's so beautiful, in fact, that I lose my breath for a moment or two. Yes, lady... I struggle to place her among the various court nobles. Only when she curtsies do I see that she's no noblewoman at all. It's just that she happens to fill out her servant's clothes so well that it might as well be an evening gown. I'm not a noble, Master Rosenkreutz. Sir Raphael sent me your way. My name's Marigold. The way Marigold introduces herself confirms her status. When she straightens from her curtsy, she catches me staring. I scramble to save face. My apologies, Marigold. Narrator, she thick. Right? It's a long-running JRPG series about alchemists with appropriately intricate crafting system. Nice. And since it's published by Koei Tecmo, all installments in the last couple of years are unfortunately riddled with bugs, poor translations, and really uncomfortable sexualization. Oof. I feel like I've seen it, though, because it just sounds like familiar. But I don't know. Sprays narrator with water while down, I say. So, you're a servant here? Smooth, Alexis, real smooth. Marigold tilts her head to the side and dons a quizzical expression. My blush cheapens. Yes, Master Rosenkreutz, but I'm not a handmaiden. I do the sweeping, the carrying, and the washing. She says it almost defensively, as if this is something she has had to explain many times in the past. Truth be told, I can't blame her, because I was just about to ask whose handmaiden she was. Well, pleasure to meet you, Miss Marigold. You said Raphael sent you. The young woman nods. I notice her eyes briefly flit to the books in my arms, and for a second I think I detect some interest there. But when she speaks, it's with pure professionalism. Yes, some of the nobles are demanding spring water. Not well water, Master Rosenkreutz, but spring water. I see. I recall seeing some servants leaving very early in the morning to get it. They must have to go quite far outside the palace walls, too. So I can't say I envy them. It's always a lot of work, and frankly, there's so much going on right now that we could really use some help. I frowned, wondering what she could possibly mean. Help with carrying the spring water? I'm afraid I can't move a spring, Miss Marigold. The servant looks at me. She's too polite to roll her eyes, but I can tell that she definitely wants to. Sir Raphael said you might be able to purify some well water with your alchemy. When she says it, I want to smack my forehead. How could I be so stupid? Yes, of course. Oh, hey, we had that, because I made that way back. It was the bucket. Okay, cool. I turned toward my study and motioned for her to follow me inside. In fact, I already have some made. Marigold's face lights up. She claps her hands together and shoots me a radiant grin. Really? Thank you so much, Master Rosenkreutz. We enter the room. Marigold stands respectively by the door as I collect the buckets. To be honest, I don't even remember what I originally made them for. I don't either. I think there was a scene where someone, we saw a servant going up the stairs and it was like, I need spring water. And I was like, okay, I'll make it. I expected that to play out, way earlier. Here you go. Fresh as the freshest spring water, and liable to stay fresh, too. I seal the bucket before passing it to her, and she accepts it. She's surprisingly strong, able to lift the heavy container without so much as a grunt. Somehow, Marigold manages a curtsy. I barely manage to stop myself from bowing back. I look away for a second, and Marigold disappears. Not even her footsteps echo after her. For the rest of the day, she stays in my mind. Hey. Alexis. Eye on the prize. We're going for Serin. So that's why you needed it. Yep. Apparently. So we got Marigold in the grimoire now. Alright. This afternoon I returned from a mission when... My dear Alexis, the brightest light to shine upon this dull palace. I'm so glad to see your radiance dyeing these dull gray walls. A smile tugs at the corner of my mouth. I turn and give Nazir a formal bow. Your Highness, you surely can't have good intentions with praise like that. Nazir adopts an utterly disappointed expression. But as usual, it doesn't last long. Non-binary by disaster, yep. Right? So me. Non-binary by disaster. Yep, that's me. This game, how dare it. How may I help you? You see, I just wanted to tell you about the newest addition to the White Heart staff. A smart and curious little thing, especially about magic. Raising my eyebrows and crossing my arms, I shoot Nazir a confused look. Where is this going? He politely asked me to demonstrate my skills, so I showed him some of the magic you taught me in our lessons. And it just happened to be in the tavern's wine cellar. I think you're skipping more than a few details, Your Highness. How exactly did you end up in the wine cellar with him? Are you sure you want to know? Actually, I don't. What happened next? A mishap! They just sometimes sort of happen, don't they? This cannot be good. In any case, the White Hart's wine cellar burned down, along with its whole stock. I know, right? What use is there for a tavern without wine? I sigh. In response, the prince shakes his head as if he doesn't know who is responsible. Oh, what's worse, they're in dire need of drinks in time for hunting season. So I've opened the royal coffers to buy them new stock. All that's missing is, perhaps, a magic touch to make the wine really special. He looks at me expectantly. And who else better suited to give the magic touch other than yours truly, who happens to be the brightest light to shine upon this palace? Nazir's eyes shimmer with mirth. I sigh again. He couldn't have made his intentions more obvious. Be a dear and help me enchant the wine, will you? I'm sure Issa would be grateful for your help. The new staff you mentioned? No, the owner. But I think Puck would be delighted to meet you. All right. I'll see what I can do. I knew I could count on you, Alexis. Could you have it ready in 3 weeks? One final sigh escapes me. I make a note of telling Raphael about this request so that he can put it in with the others. Okay, so that's another item request. Somewhere? It's not on here. Oh no, there it is. I see. 30 fire and 30 water. We were already training up Nazir to be able to do that, so he just needs to do 1 more week of water probably, and then he can make the wine. What do I need for the ghost bell? 40 light, 40 dark. So we were training Aurelius to do that? Were we? 81 dark. His light is 18. Oh, maybe we were training Serin. Light, 20 darkness. I don't know. It's probably back there. Yeah, we were training Serin for that. Darkness. Nazir. I just love that he says, can you do this for me? And our response is no, but I can teach you to do it. Basically. What do I want to upgrade for my stats? My beauty is 32. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Our leadership is 0. I'm not touching it anymore. I don't care. I don't know if it's going to make it's made a couple of appearances, but they all seem to be mostly related to Nazir, which is not as important right now since we're not romancing him. I think I'm going to up my intelligence and... shit. Etiquette? Beauty? Charisma? kind of tempted to do etiquette and charisma. I don't want to fail like a intelligence check though, because they're really important. It is 67 though, and our etiquette is really low. Maybe we should do combat. Okay. Hey, we have missions again. A knock pulls me from my thoughts. I look up from my desk just in time to see the door open. Raphael stands on the other side, but quickly steps away. I stand up from behind my desk as a finely dressed woman enters a haughty expression on her face. She looks around my room as if she is being forced to enter a pigsty. My lady, to what do I owe the pleasure? Raphael quickly steps forward before she has time to answer. Not that she was actually going to. This is Lady Caradwyn of House Naranthia. Wait, there's no R in there. Natharia. No, is it? Caradwyn of Natharia. This is Lady Caradwyn of Natharia. I believe I mentioned she was coming. Wow, I'm fucking up all these sentences. Hi, Kuroi. How you doing? A hottie? Did I say hottie? I said hot. H-A-U-G-H-T. Haughty. I shoot him a blank stare for a moment, but then it comes rushing back to me. Raphael did mention something about the noble's representative a couple weeks ago. Lady Caradwyn, it is an honor. The noblewoman folds her arms, raising one carefully trimmed eyebrow at me as if to say, the honor is definitely yours. Once the moment passes, a disappointed sigh escapes her. Well, I certainly expected more after all the trouble you've caused over the past few weeks, Rosenkreutz. Rosenkreutz. My mouth. Rosenkreutz? Pardon? Don't play coy. Clearly your arrival here has made someone very upset. Fighting in the palace corridors is just barbaric. And look at you. She waves dismissively at me. A little pup. What? I'm sure most would agree that the company of a pup is far greater than that of a lout, which I have the disservice of having in mine. As I bite back an angry reply, again Raphael steps between us. Lady Caradwyn is here to collect the cloth she requested from you a few weeks ago. I can read, not add words in there that aren't there. Right. That request. Lady Caradwyn looks at me expectantly, and Raphael with a hint of desperation. Of course. I collect the item from the chest I'd been keeping it in. When I lift it out of the dark container, the fabric catches some light from the windows and shimmers like a unicorn's coat. A small gasp escapes Caradwyn. I can't help proudly grinning to myself as I fold the cloth up and hand it over. Raphael looks at me from over her shoulder. His relief is clear as day. Well, well, well. She strokes the silky smooth fabric, her eyes reflecting its enchanted glimmer. What a surprise. You do have your uses. I hold back another nasty retort in favor of a more restrained, if shaky, smile. It was my pleasure. Lady Caradwyn turns to leave. Raphael quickly follows her out and closes the door behind them. The moment she's gone, I feel the stiffness leave my spine and practically collapse back down into my chair. Lady Caradwyn of House Natharia. House Natharia. I frown, trying to recall her rank. Baron, perhaps? That's high, but not so high she can come in and sneer at me. A sigh escapes my lip as I force myself to relax. If I want the nobles to be happy, I should try to keep her happy too. Even if all my efforts will go to nothing but cloths, parties, and who knows what else. Alright, we got her into the grimoire. We're gonna keep going for a while. It is 3:40, and I did want to play some Genshin. Okay, we're gonna save, is what we're definitely gonna do first. And I'm gonna take a break. So we're going to take like a 15-20 minute break. I'm going to get some snacks, stretch, use the restroom, get some more stuff to drink, probably make some more tea, and during that time I will decide whether or not we are going to continue on for the night with more Royal Alchemist. My voice is pretty okay so far. I don't feel like it's particularly getting damaged. So yeah, we'll decide if we're going to do that or if we're going to move on to Genshin and do some Genshin plot, because I have a quest to do that I think will be fun. All right, so yes, we're going to take a break. During the break, we are going to do a boss fight. So if you don't know what a boss fight is, it's... Yeah, oh yeah, and I was going to show the CGs. Okay, yeah, don't let me forget, Estantia. We can do that... Yeah, let's do that when we get back, because I really have to use the restroom. So we're going to do that when we get back. But we're going to do a boss fight in the meantime, 15 to 20 minutes. Boss is going to be the